Well, hello, friends. Welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line. We are continuing with our Megadungeon. I'm not going to call it a crawl right now because
Oh,
Oh,
they've been
fine.
quite suitably halted for the nonce. But their Megadungeon experience of the Halls of Arden Vul by Richard Barton using the old school essential system developed by Gavin Norman. I am your referee for the night. My name is John, and going around the horn once again, we have Mike, who will be probably joining us later. We will take a quick break to bring him back on, but for right now, he is quite literally dead to us. And going around the horn,
sort of undead to us, maybe? Is it?
yeah, exactly. But we also have the rest of the crew. Go ahead.
Onweir, the illusionist. I'm David. Sorry, play Onweir, the illusionist. Got us into this mess.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
You killed my brother. You killed him.
My name is Matt. I play Avaricios of Epirenus, the left hand of Lycion.
Ooh,
Nice.
I like that.
You got to make some lemonade.
And I am Ted, and tonight I will be playing the role of Mortis J. Gabliano, understudy to the former Squeegee. May he rest in peace.
A culture goblin, thankfully.
Yes, indeed.
Quite a 180 turn. Okay.
Indeed, sir.
I love it. All right. So, yeah, we got some big changes. We Squeegee, F in chat, RIP, gone, replaced by Mort.
Squeege.
Ted's giving it the old third college try with the Halls of Arden Vul.
Squeegee, it only occurs to me now, feels a bit like an onomatopoeia of the sound your body made when
I was totally uncalled for.
Yeah.
When
You bastard.
Yeah, the other big change is that I discovered after a brief conversation with a fellow RPGer on Mastodon of all places, that there was an Owlbear version 2.0 that I had no idea was a thing. Owlbear Rodeo VTT 2.0. So I took a look, and lo and behold, it's more robust, yet still not horribly complex like a lot of the other VTTs. So we are going to give it a shot tonight. I think you're going to like some of the changes that you'll see on your screens as well, especially with the new dice roller. So we're going to give that a whirl. Pardon us if we have some hiccups with technical stuff that we have to muddle through, but shouldn't be too bad. Okay, so let's set this scenario. There's a lot of moving parts going on right now. However, the PCs are not part of those moving parts. They're not moving.
We'll just sit in the back. You just let us know when it's time to come in.
If you're diving in for the first time to watching 3D6 Down the Line, this could be a very confusing scenario. The long and short of it is they are all in prison at the moment, is what's basically going on. It is the 7th of Logarios. It is approximately about 9 p.m. That should be very important to you guys to understand regarding your goals as far as, one, your fatigue. Where this is actually the first time you're actually getting to the point now where the toll of adventuring has gotten to the point now where you must rest. Like I have forgone the rule, the default rule where you have to rest every sixth turn while crawling through a dungeon, because I feel like the dangers themselves give enough tenseness to the situation. But just nighttime is approaching, and like you guys are tired and you've been exhausted and you've had a harrowing day. So that's an issue. In addition, the sun has set, which means that should you still follow through with your plan, which you think would work, which is the missing piece to the well of light, you will have to wait for the sun to shine again, if your theory is correct. So just be aware of the time. Avaricios has no right hand. He got that cut off. So what we're going to say, Matt, for that is that you have been healed, so there is no problem with it anymore. But because you were right-handed and you have to learn to attack with your left hand, you are going to be -1 to attack.
Okay. This is fair.
Yeah. So what I'm going to say is all attacks with, one is -1 to attack with your left hand, assuming that you attack with a weapon. So if you attack with your weapon in your left hand because you're not proficient or in the use of your left hand, it will take you 1 month of just practicing whenever you have downtime, should you have it. Like, so I'm not going to track like day to day to add up to 30, but assuming that you're able to give a little bit of time and effort to actually practicing the use of your left hand. I'm going to give it a month before you gain proficiency again. Assuming that that ends up being the case, it'll be on the 5th of Gelenios, which is next month when that will occur. But that could be pushed further afield if you don't have the time to practice. Now, if you are able to actually train with a martial professional, okay, like you go back to Gosterwick and you find someone who knows how to train. That doesn't necessarily mean like just a high-level fighter. It means someone who knows how to train somebody. You can reduce that down to 1 week.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But it basically means that you have to, like, that's what you're doing when you're training with a person. Like, that's all you're doing. You can, there's no other major activities you can do. Okay.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Avaricios has also fashioned a viable holy symbol out of a couple of skinny little rat bones in the shape of a sickle, which is one of the symbols of his god Lysion. So you have a viable holy symbol, so you can turn and you can cast spells.
It is the belief that holds it together. It makes it work.
That's right. That's all it takes. Onweir, you were raised out of your coma, which was great, but you are still concussed. You're going to be concussed until the 14th of Ligarios. Right now it is the 7th, so 1 week. Being concussed means that you will always go last in initiative. After both sides go, that's when you go. Okay.
All right, it's good to know.
And you also have a 1 in 6 chance of spell failure every single time you attempt to cast a spell.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Zoinks.
Ooh.
Mort in his cell has found a chipped piece of stone and it has started chipping slowly away. At the door, at the wood of the door, correct? I believe is what it was.
Yeah, the idea being to access the latch of the lock from the back side of it.
Right. Yeah. So you've been, it's going to take a great deal of time.
Much like 3d6 down the line is slowly chipping away at 5e.
Exactly. Okay, and Gorand, Mike, the dwarf, he is in a cell. He's the only person in a cell with 2 people. He's in with Guelph, the insane black-bearded, patchy-bearded dwarf, who is the true culprit of Garalad's, the big bad's, questioning, basically. Like Garalad wants to know who has been storming around his secret tunnels, which he does very carefully maintain so that only he and his followers know about it. But he's been asking and interrogating all of these prisoners in these cells the question, but wealth has not spilled, but it has broken his mind. In addition, you have Anaximander, who is an ancient human, with an unnaturally extended life because of his time sitting for centuries at the great oracle of Thoth, communing with the god Thoth himself. So his mind is also kind of gone, but he still has retention of the spells that he had memorized or had prayed for, I should say, when he sat down on that throne, and they are quite good. So he can cast Detect Evil, Detect Magic, Locate Object, Tongues, True Seeing, and Stone Tell. He can cast all of those without a problem. He also has memorized Augury and Divination, Augury being a lesser version of Divination, but both of those actually require some sort of focus in which to like cast the bones or read the tea leaves. We had discussed it that yes, the bones that exist in the cell could actually be used for that. So barring anything else, it looks like they could probably cast that as well. So that's the deal. Okay, so Gorn's with the next Mandarin and Guelph. Mort, you are with Tresty, who is the half elf with almond eyes, a strong chin. She has her brown hair in a bun. She apparently is a magic user. Her spellbook was stolen from her and taken to Isocritus, so it is assumed that is in the library of Thoth, where Isocritus spends most of his time. Right. One thing I noted whenever I was rewatching the episode is that I didn't correct it at the time because I didn't hear it. You made an assumption that the spellbook that you found in Irskos's lair, the illusionist spellbook, was hers. It was not. Yeah. So Tresty is a magic user. She is not an illusionist. Okay. So
not all this can be, ordained by the great school of
true
illusion.
So true. So the spellbook that Onweir wants is probably quite nearby. Her spellbook is a little bit further away. Got it? In addition to her spell book that was taken to Isocritus, the torch which fell out of the limp hand, severed hand of Avaricios, that cursed torch has also been taken to Isocritus. So be aware of that. All of the rest of your worldly goods apparently were stuffed into Njaal's chambers, as far as you know, and also the rest of the prisoner's gear as well. Okay. So yeah, that's Tresty. So Avaricios, you are with Samantha the Red, short red hair and an aquiline nose, obviously Arcantian. Looks like she was a fighter, but she was the most recently tortured. She's in pretty bad shape and has lost all hope, basically. Although she has found a slight bit with your ministrations of faith.
Right. You do what you can.
And then there's Onweir and Yost. So Yost is a huge, hulking Arnold Schwarzenegger type, massive shawl of tattoos across his upper chest. He is the most recent here, basically bald and clean shaven. But he has hidden away a holy symbol of Thoth, which he had used to actually bypass guardians, which allowed him to find a secret passage that led to this general area upon which he was promptly captured. And what other quick little things here? Tresty was the one that informed Mort about Isocritus talking about the pyramid. Whenever you mentioned how you got here, Tresty was the one that was like, "Oh, I heard Isocritus talking about that pyramid." Mysteries of it. And then Anaximander told Gorand, Mike's character, whenever he was taken, before he was dropped in the cell with Gorand, that he was taken to meet Isocritus and Geralad, and he actually witnessed the Library of Thoth to the south. Saw a very strange sight with like black robed figures kind of hunched over and weird like baboon babies that were sort of hopping around in the book stacks, things like that. And the fact that Geralad and Isocritus never spoke, they actually communicated in sign language. The other thing I didn't mention, which I should have, Anaximander notes to Gorand, I should say, that he saw Isocritus open the double doors with a key that led to the library. And then we had an awesome moment with Mike where he planted the seeds of doubt in charmed Njaal's head about his supposed rival Isocritus, trying to steal Geralad's affection. And Njaal doesn't want any of that. Appears that both Njaal and Isocritus don't like the baboons all that much, but Isocritus doesn't like them, like really detests them. And I think that's where we're at.
Still the 7th of Lugarios, right?
Yep.
Okay. And do we have light?
No, it's very dark. You get a small smidgen of light from the corridor.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And that's where you're at. So it's been about 4.5 hours since you were kind of tossed in here, I believe.
So we've been chatting amongst ourselves. Mort's been scraping away at the wood. And Gorand and Av have been whispering up a storm, trying to come up with a plan.
Right.
Yeah, you heard Gorand's conversation with Njaal Oakheart. So you saw him sort of work his magic on him there. Njaal had healed Onweir, or commanded him to be healed. So he's at 1 hit point right now. That's what you're at, Onweir. And Geralad had told you whenever he talked to you briefly that he commanded his minions to allow you to stew for a couple days. In the meantime, he was going to head to his secret tunnels to go search again for vulnerabilities. So you basically have a timeline of around 2-ish days, depending on his mood, before you are strapped to the post. What do you do?
All right. So
I'll be on the post.
So one of the things I think, well, first of all, Avaricios, in talking with Samantha the Red, he recalls what they had learned so far about people who wear red armor, and that is a sure sign of a likely sign of being a Setite or a follower of Set. So without just like calling that out to everyone, like I think in the like the whispered conversations whenever the hallway seems to be clear. He would just try to make it known to the other ones. Okay, the red armor. That's what my roommate there, Sam. When we get out of here, and she's going to need the red armor. Remember that.
Got it. Yeah.
Nobody. It's important to to get the armor that you brought in.
Yes, you can't miss it. It's scale armor. It's very precious to me.
Scale armor. Do you shed it every few? No. Cool. Is there any? Well, it's not for me to ask, I suppose. Does she have any snake-like features? Any for all her S's? Or is anything strange about her pupils? Or
no?
I'm actually asking. I don't know. Yeah.
No. And to be clear too, if she is a Setite, that like the snake thing is not really a thing with Set, right? It's more like the crocodile, the jackal.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
The jackal. Yeah.
Hey, Mike just texted.
He's ready to come in.
Ready to go. Yeah.
Wow.
We will be complete.
Yes.
We will be right back. Bringing.
He's alive.
1 moment, please. I have brought a Mike back with us.
Yay.
A dwarf. A doughty dwarf. He's with us. All right. We gave him the lowdown. He's all set to go. Okay. So planning time, guys. What do you plan to do?
Dominate my enemies.
Oh man.
Yeah, I would like to find the biggest prisoner in here and just punch him right in the face.
That's Jost.
I've heard that's
That's Jost. Yeah.
Easy answer. You got to get to him first.
The littlest prisoner, if that helps.
All right. So can I just ask a real stupid question? Has any time passed since our last session, or are we literally?
It's 9 p.m. It's been about 4.5 hours since you've been dropped in here. But other than that, no mechanical changes.
Okay, no one's been dragged off screaming.
No, but
through the darkness.
Garrett had made a note that when he told you that he was going to go off to his tunnels, but he wants to soften up the new prisoners for approximately 2 days before interrogation begins.
Ooh, the clock is ticking, my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we got this.
So, I know offline we did a lot of talking about ideas, and I couldn't recount them all right now, but I do like the idea of the anti-magic room and Niall trying to get him in there. I think that's really quite clever. One idea that occurred to me is if we strategically allowed him to overhear us talking, right? So that it's not just us like trying to convince him, right? Hey man, you should go in there. That's going to sound obvious, but like if if we are talking back and forth, like, boy, I'm glad we stashed all our gold over. This is just an example. I'm glad we stashed all our gold in that room before we got captured, because if we escape, it's still there, that kind of thing, or something like that.
Or that thing that what's his name?
Gradi's gave us, or whatever is over there. That kind of thing.
If the thing that guy's pal wants is in the room, and we're talking about the room down at the end of the hall with the ibis eyes.
Right. That lit the orb.
The one where your cursed torch kind of like went out. Yeah.
Right. The note on your shared notes or on your paper, like the BBEG. His name is Garrett.
Yeah,
I have a shorthand on the shared notes of all the characters, thanks to John's.
Cool. Okay, good.
So if y'all look on there, it's all there.
Cool.
I like your idea, Ted, about letting y'all overhear us.
Right.
I do think though that we need to focus. We kind of got a little thread that we were able to pull on last session that he hates Isocritus.
Oh, absolutely.
So anything that we can put that makes it seem like Isocritus, and I'm sorry, am I pronouncing that correctly? Yeah, Isocritus. Yeah. Okay, he's plotting against Garrelad, I think is like key to motivate him, because either he's charmed or he's just a total suck ass and is just like for Garrelad.
So what if?
Either way,
I agree. What if we seeded some kind of concept along the lines of, to marry these ideas, Isocrites stealing or like laundering something away from the library from Garrelad and hiding it in that Ibis room.
That's exactly what I was going to suggest.
So that
he would go and find
it. Me. Does anyone young enough to know what pick me means here? I'm kidding.
We're all like, what?
What?
No, dead silence. No one even laughed. Okay. Well, listeners, we've now divided the room. He's a kiss ass, right? Because he's charmed. So it benefits him to go like rescue this fact.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now,
right.
Okay.
Before we spend a lot of effort on that, one question. Now,
Sure.
I don't. Help me if I remember. When you pulled the Arcanum from the wall, that did not appear to affect the anti-magic thing. Okay,
It did
good.
not.
Unrelated.
It did not.
Unrelated. Good.
I have one other thing that I was actually really worried about, and I don't know if John earmuffs. I don't want to say this in front of you. I'm the one who got found with the magical knife that was owned by the cannibal chef.
Right.
So now I'm feeling a little concerned that big four-armed monkey that has a Epicurean penchant for eating humanoids might become looking for whoever stole this stuff from his box.
I've got his recipe book, so
Look, everyone loves the long stick, all right?
actually, I wish I could check it and see if Dwarf is in there.
Ugh. Anyway,
Okay,
so I'm feeling especially motivated to escape.
So here's the deal. You guys are always already good at this, but you got to be proactive, right? Like, if you sit and rot in here and wait for something to happen, nothing will happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, so
Yeah.
you guys have to be you have to stir things up and get things moving. So,
the other thing John told us, Mike, is that we are getting to the point where we are going to need rest.
yeah, it's 9 p.m.
So 9 p.m.
We have
9:30.
2 days. We have 2
No,
days. Do we take the night to rest and then start our shenanigans tomorrow?
Absolutely, because we can't do anything like this.
And it's dark outside. Remember, as we were talking also about the mirrors not working at night. So I think it kind of depends on whether Niall's up or not. Like if he's awake
Yeah.
and like, doing his rounds or sharpening his chains or whatever, then maybe we start talking through the windows.
So he's not
Right,
going to.
right.
You would have been fed by this time. The prisoners tell you this, but because he liked Goran, remember he gave everyone extra rations. So basically, like you can count on, because he assumes you already have enough food. He's not going to enter.
Come back.
Yeah. Now the usual routine is that in the morning, actually it actually would be like a little bit worse tonight than normal, because usually at dinner time they come and empty the buckets. But they're not going to tonight, and
Nothing's free, man.
But they also do it like first thing in the morning with breakfast. But
Okay.
the prisoners tell you like there's no like exercise period or anything like that, right?
No time out in the yard.
Yeah, there's no sorting books in the library or doing cafeteria duty, right? It's none of that. When you do cafeteria duty, it means you're going to be eaten. That's what cafeteria duty is.
Thanks for bringing that up, because I was going to volunteer to, kind of help.
That is actually not a joke. They do every once in a while. Prisoners have disappeared. Burris, the person that you heard screaming, is the most recent probable victim of that.
Sorry.
Real quick. The prisoners tell you that unless Garalad has marked someone specifically for attention, they leave it up to Niall to make the call. Like if Irsko's feeling hungry or needs more meat to feed the baboons, sometimes Niall just come in and be like, "You're coming with me," and they're never seen again.
On that subject, have we been fed in our gruel anything with finger bones in it?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Why do you need a finger bone?
Don't make me eat my own hand.
I don't need
John.
that.
I don't want to eat my own
That's what
hand.
I'm getting at. I was like, have we been eating our compatriot yet?
Not yet. Good question.
Not yet.
Yeah.
He said.
Okay, so
They serve that up like popcorn later.
Give me just a minute. I'm going to go tuck in my kid, but I'll be right back.
Sure.
all right.
Yeah.
I might have to go do tuck-ins too in about 20 minutes or so, but it'll be quick.
Okay.
One thing I wanted to ask John is we had talked in our Discord offline about Anaximander.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to try and have that conversation with him now as we're getting ready to kind of bed down or pass out on the cold stone floor.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly like who he was, what he did, and what abilities he has to bear. And also in that conversation, kind of fill him in on our predicament, right? So that he understands cold and clear what our possible advantages are with him.
Yeah.
And what we might need him to do.
Okay,
And okay, go ahead.
What else? I'm sorry.
Oh, and what capabilities he might have that might be able to help us out.
Okay, so his capabilities are straight up those spells. Otherwise, he's frail. He will go down. I won't even roll damage. If he is hit in combat, he's gone.
He goes down.
Yeah, and and he's not like you guys. He doesn't do death and dismemberment. He's gone.
Right. Does he remember any portion of the route or the map or anything like that? Like how he got there?
Very vaguely. Okay. So
Okay.
like he just knows it in terms of like major landmarks, basically, but he can't remember exactly the path he took to get to the Oracle of Thoth. But he remembers
Does he remember? Oh, go ahead.
he
Sorry.
remembers the Caves of Blood, which is where the massacre occurred. He also remembers who did the massacring, which was this what he calls trolls. All right. He constantly say that they were under control of a being known as the Troll Thane, a very powerful figure. At the time when he was with the expedition with Adrianic, it was known that the Troll Thane of Arden Vul was the dominant power in Arden Vul at that time. He can't remember the terms of like why they set them off or why they were battling them there. He just remembers being slaughtered wholesale. And the way he describes it is that it wasn't just like a force of men. It was actually like in like a devastation, the likes of like he has never seen before, of arcane power brought to bear down upon the men in the Caves of Blood, as if there were stations that were looking down on them, that they were firing fiery rays of devastation, just slicing these guys in half. That's what he almost has to kind of stop talking about it, because it like just it you know, you can tell he's been having nightmares about it, basically.
Right.
He remembers that the way that they got egress and ingress to these deep levels where the trolls were these things called the troll lists, which were these marvelous engineering feats that the trolls created, and they charged entry for that huge, massive pulleys that actually went up and down the Great Chasm. And when he tells you this, when you hear about the Great Chasm, this is a common rumor that you've heard in the inns and taverns of Gosterwick when speaking about the major landmarks of Arden Vul, is this chasm. It's also, by the way, Yost mentioned the Great Chasm. Whenever he mentioned that, whenever he was talking to the halflings, they went northeast. He said he crossed the Great Chasm and found a spiral stair that led upwards to here. So it appears that the Great Chasm is some sort of great rift that actually slices through the dungeon vertically.
Okay. And so he doesn't recall. He recalls like going across the chasm and having the fight in the Caves of Blood, but between the Caves of Blood and this level, he doesn't recall anything.
Not really, no. Nothing useful, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I describe the pyramid thing that teleported us to this section, is that ringing any bells for him?
Unfortunately not. He never encountered that. He's very interested in it, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
he would love to know more.
So I try to explain to him exactly what the mechanism, sorry, I just bumped my mic, what the mechanism is for the plunger. And one of the spells that you had told us in the Discord he knew was locate object. So I just wanted to kind of like, since I'm just a stupid dwarf, less wise than I was 3 sessions ago, see if he thinks that he could locate that using his magical abilities.
He can definitely tell you one way or the other. Just let me look at the spell description specifically. So for a specific object, which is what we're talking about here, the caster must be able to clearly visualize the object in all aspects.
He has to be, seen it.
Well, it doesn't say that, right? That's what's kind of cool. So it's sort of like, I think it's what's unsaid in that spell description is exactly the situation we're talking about here, which is where if you can actually make him visualize it basically perfectly, then the spell will work. You know what I mean?
The only problem is, guys, is we don't know if the mechanism that was on this pyramid, if indeed there ever was one, looks exactly like the one that we used for the previous level. The other thing I was going to say, too, is the other idea that we had kind of like been spitballing was finding the mechanism that would set up the light mirrors, right?
The disco ball.
However, Tesco didn't like it, but he ran through that well of light room when it was full lit and grabbed the old man and then kept on going.
Well, I don't think it was fully lit because we didn't have the mirror going. It was
sure, but it was bright.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter if the little monkeys can't get us if the big ones can.
Well, Ted's right, though, to kind of clarify that room had the very bright 5-foot wide shaft coming down. Okay. But that light does not go out any further. There was there were sconces for torches around as well. But that room, actually, because it was quite a large room, was actually relatively dark. It was just had that very solid beam of light coming down. But yes, obviously he was reluctant to do so, but did do it.
Yeah, and that remember the two dead bodies that we found when we first came down into this level. They were talking about the the light will. I have to find the quote.
You're right.
Yeah, light drives them away or something.
It's a good memory. I forgot about that actually.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's see here.
Yeah, let the faithful acknowledge the darkness and invoke the light of truth. Is that one? Oh no, those were
no.
Oh, that was in the
that was inside the
later.
stations of the cross rooms.
I have the
it
phrase
says,
right here.
we are deterred by the light. We should restore the well.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
That was in room 2 on our map.
Mm-hmm.
2 corpses, western wall message on the wall in blood. We got some loot off of them. Yeah.
I think a key component to a successful escape, no matter which route we end up taking, is going to be getting that disco ball up and bouncing the light around. Because otherwise, there's just too many of them. And we might be able to sneak out. Who knows? But this definitely seems to be the key to deterring them.
So don't forget about you need retrieval of your gear.
Yeah.
I mean, would be ideal.
I think if it's our lives or our gear. But yeah.
Right.
But to John's point, dude, like without light sources and without weapons and without armor, the idea of crawling through like levels and levels and levels of this dungeon to get out are like not going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I
can go up as well, conceivably.
I'm able to cast light now. I mean, that's something I can still do.
Yeah.
I can't say. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say also, Avaricios is not climbing up a well with one hand.
Yes, of course. All I'll say is
it'll be sad, but that's just how that goes.
Hey.
Go ahead, David.
Yeah. No, I mean, y'all are familiar with my contingency preference if all else fails. But if we need to have our gear and we need to find safe egress, and there's all these sort of like subcomponents to us surviving this encounter, barring being tortured to death, ratting on the dwarf is probably the easiest thing, and not having an army of 8s chasing us. Because I don't think hoofing it's going to happen, because one big guy can block any of these halls. So one wrong turn, we're boned. Gear or no gear, right? So I think ingratiating ourselves like we're doing with y'all, it makes a lot of sense. Maybe being escorted for some reason by him. I don't know what we can sort of conceive of. But
if we can break that charm, I think it's
pretend to still be charmed.
He would come back. Not certainly, but likely come back and
okay.
We can
at least come get his stuff to try and run away, and then hopefully we can convince him to let us out and team up.
All right. So
let's try it.
What I'm hearing right now is breaking the charm. The supposed charm is your go-to for now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or at least ingratiating ourselves with Yal. And I think the main way that we kind of settled on to do that is to convince him to go to the Ibis room by saying that, by letting him overhear our conversation that, didn't we see Isocritus? It's a good thing we hid our gear in that room. And it's lucky for us that Isocritus didn't see us do that when he was stashing something inside the mouth of that, statue on the wall.
Yeah, so let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Maybe specify not the center mouth, like
just play it out.
Yeah.
But
hey, John, do we get a hit point back at night?
Are you going to do this in the morning, or are you going to do it now?
Oh no, we're doing it now.
Are you?
I think we should do it now if there's any chance Niall can hear us.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The sooner the better.
Like, if we could wait until we think he's out there or around and listening, otherwise we'll have to talk like really awkwardly loudly, I think, for him to hear us.
Do you want to call him? You want to shout for him, or because it doesn't look like
I think the idea is to, when he is like, when we know he's stirring, to be whispering loud enough so that he would be listening.
Well, if we call him,
okay, you're gonna have to wait till morning. Then.
Know.
Are you okay for waiting for till morning?
I'm for that, because then I can have a couple of spells.
He's not getting up.
I think so too. No, I think that was the plan, John. And then I can pump an Axamander for the information about his spell list, and get all that information downloaded from him about where he was and what he saw and all the rest of that. I think that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
All
right. You bed down for the night. So it is extremely uncomfortable, awful, horrible conditions. And you know that your lives could be snuffed out at any second. Therefore, I'm going to make it a roll to see if you actually regain a hit point.
Yeah, nice.
This
So
is fair.
And we're also
This is
sleeping in
like
pits,
10
basically.
Yeah, this is like Ted sleeping outside in the wintertime.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that there is a 2 in 6 chance that you do not regain a hit point. So if you roll a 1 or a 2, you do not regain a hit point. So go ahead and roll, everybody, but leave your dice up there so we can show everybody.
1 or 2 is bad. Is that what you said?
1 or 2 is bad, correct? Yeah.
On a 6-sided.
Mm-hmm.
Boop. 4 for me.
Okay.
I got a 5.
3 for me.
And a 3 for Avaricios. Okay. And on where?
Come on, David, you can do it.
I know. I'm sorry.
Click
There
the
we go.
button. Oh, there it is.
6.
So everyone's okay, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Woo!
Only 50% dead.
Okay, so you do actually manage to huddle up, crawl yourself into a ball, and have nightmares the entire length of your sleep. But you wake up in the morning.
Is there enough straw in my cell for Mort to get some of the straw? Trust he's not going to hog it all up.
Yeah, you can drag a little bit over.
Yeah. I'll make a little net, circle it 3 times, curl up like goblins.
Yeah. Guelph in the middle of the night curls up to Gornd like a dog that needs like warmth. So just kind of
Yeah. Dwarves, man, we stick together, bro.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, a little bit of it kind of gives you a little spoon in action. Just kind of breathes into your ear all night long.
Those aren't pillows.
Those aren't pillows. Okay, so you wake up and you are well rested relatively. Everyone just sort of like groans, pisses and craps in their bucket, that sort of thing, and you hear the doors to the cell area in general open, and you hear like and you hear,
Oh, boy.
all right, just hold your horses, you damn apes. Okay, let's open that door over there. Let's go get them buckets out and give them their slop. My God, my back. All right.
John, may I, before they come down, first let you know which spells I'm preparing for today.
Yes.
And then I'm going to cast one.
Okay, what are the spells?
I'm going to prepare Cure Light Wounds and Detect Evil.
Okay, very good.
And before they, when I hear this going, I'm gonna clutch my holy symbol and I'm going to cast Detect Evil.
Okay. What to do?
Objects enchanted for evil purposes or living beings with evil intentions are caused to magically glow.
Wait. Well, hold on one second.
Was that just to me or to everybody? That's
what I was about to.
What?
That's what I was going to ask.
What do you mean to you?
Well, it just says they magically glow. Is it just me seeing them glow, or is it like glowing to everybody?
No, it's you. It's you.
Yeah. Okay. Because that would be far less subtle than what I had in mind.
Yeah.
The hell going
Hey,
on
why
in
am I
here?
glowing?
You're evil.
Right.
And it's up to you to decide what is evil.
Mm-hmm.
But Avaricios is his thought process is like, is this guy charmed? Is he really an evil person? Same with the baboons and his cellmate, and whoever he can see.
Sam.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's basically line of sight, right? So when you got it on, right, and they kind of walk by the door, we'll say they go to your door and they open it up, right, and they sling in the food. Neither the baboons nor y'all detect as evil.
Okay.
No glow.
How's my roommate? How's Sam looking?
Sam is also not
Okay.
does not have any evil intent.
Okay. When they open the door to throw the slop, am I able to like peek down the hallway to get a glimpse of anybody else?
Let's see. That would depend on the map. You are
Which one was I in?
You're in room 3.
He's in room 3.
Oh, at the end of the hall. So I might be able to see A glimpse into room 4, maybe.
Baby. Yeah, sure, we'll call it that. Yeah.
Yost. Well, I don't think Onweir's evil. Who knows?
Wait till you hear what I was going to tell Yost.
I think you're going to be surprised.
Yeah. So Yost does not glow, but Onweir actually glows. I've read the discussions on Discord what Onweir has planned.
Okay.
Now remember,
Okay,
like,
listen.
and to viewers out there too,
neutral behavior list.
our alignment is the way one we're using is basic, so it's just law, neutrality, and chaos. And so there is no good and evil, right? That's just so I like the way that Gavin actually wrote the spell here in OSC that it's if there's evil intent in the person's mind, that's what causes it to ping out. Onweir definitely has like evil intent.
What is my evil intent?
Well, you know what I mean. It's good and evil is all subjective. It's all subjective, right? But, yeah. But
Do you care to share?
well, basically the note.
Go
Basically,
ahead.
the basically Guelph, right? Who, if you had been able to see Guelph, he would obviously ping as evil. He would.
Yeah.
That's fairly obvious. But Onweir is basically justifying. It's basically what do you call it? What's the phrase?
Rationalizing.
Yeah, but it's like
Rationalizing.
2 eyes makes the world blind, whatever that whole thing. What's that phrase?
For an eye and the whole world will be blind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, well, that guy's evil, so if we screw him over, then we're good.
Excuse me. In my very specific defense, no, we can leave this. Onweir, I think, is probably pretty evil, but in this case, the cackling dwarf who is gleefully watching everyone around him get tortured to death, to keep a secret that is, as far as we know, basically arbitrary, is basically like the evil druid that's keeping us here.
Totally.
Right? Like, killing him for me is not an act of evil, right?
Understood. Like, no one who is actually evil thinks of themselves as evil, right? Like, we're going to get into like a whole bunch of philosophy sort of stuff. I'm just saying
No, it's not philosophy.
Onweir is generally thinking about throwing this guy underneath the bus. That's not like a nice thing to do. Let's say that, right? It's not a nice thing to do.
It's self-preservation.
Right.
If
I know,
Geralab had a
dude, I'm not-
if
yeah.
Geralab,
Gaze. I'm gonna go tuck in my kids. I'll be right back.
Yeah. It's okay. I am not condemning it. I actually think that's an excellent plan and probably the safest plan, frankly. I'm just saying that for the terms of that spell, I have to make a judgment call, and it's
I understand.
what Onweir is thinking of doing is not really the nicest thing to do.
I
It's
agree.
certainly
I
good for the preservation of the party and your lives.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're doing it to a very crappy person, although maybe it's just his mind. But in general, yes. But that also tells you that if Onweir pings and Samantha's and Yost's didn't, that might tell you something, right?
Okay.
That's all.
So,
Very useful.
guys,
This is exactly what I was hoping for.
I have a quick idea that I'm just gonna see if I can run with here. Let's see what happens. I have a spare character in the wings, so it'll be fine. John, when they get to my door, I want to just be like, Niall, sir, may I trouble you for a moment of your time? And if he's willing to talk for a moment, then what I want to say is, so I don't really know these guys. I'm a henchman. The guy that got killed in the other room, that was my boss. I'm sort of a free agent now. I don't really have anything to do with this. Do you need any henching done? I'm a really good henchman. I hench all the time. I could be your henchman.
I've heard.
Like you could.
Listen, little Gobbo, I've heard all the stories. Everyone's got a sob story about how they don't need to be in here. I don't need no help.
Of course.
Gerlad's got me, and that's all he needs. And I've got him. I appreciate the offer, but it's
You could have me. I work cheap.
Just the two
I'm
of
very
us.
henchy.
it's falling on
We can
deaf
make
ears
it
there,
if
little
we
Gobbo.
try.
Here's your scraps. Give me that bucket.
If you change your mind, you need warm milk. You need your slippers brought to you. A newspaper from the front door.
Yeah.
Oh
Those
well,
slams.
I didn't think it would work, but I
Is Mort lactating?
didn't tell him where I was getting the milk.
Covered somewhere.
Baboons are mammals, man.
Okay, so is this happening?
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
So while he's messing with buckets, and but not yet out of earshot, right? We
Yep.
need to start
Okay, do it.
like, well, I'm glad he's gone. I'd hate for him to start asking us questions about that room down at the end where we got all our stuff.
Hey, I can still hear you.
Oh, yes, right.
You got a mouth on you, little gobbo. He's like
Sorry,
he's like
sir.
peering at you through the iron grate, like he's just like
Absolutely right, sir. Beg your pardon.
What did you say there about what's it now? Some room?
All right, fine. You've got me. Down the hallway, right where where they caught us, sort of west of there. There's a room with some mouths on the wall. That's where we stashed some of our stuff. I was just saying that we got us now. I guess
I'll just tell Garrelad. He'll go find it. I know the room you're talking about.
Well,
baboons don't like that room.
You dog, I love it.
You might be interested in going yourself, though. I heard you talking to Goran last night about what's a fella, Isocritus.
Yeah, some bitch.
Yeah. Well, we were sweating bullets because actually he was in there too, hiding something.
Wait. Back up a second there.
Yeah.
You said Isocritus was in that room?
Yeah. We think that too.
That can't be possible because Garrelad is expressly forbidden anyone from entering that room except himself. And the baboons don't want to go in there nonehow because of that freaky little wave light that happens every once in a while.
That's why we stashed our stuff in there. And I think that's probably why he stashed stuff in there.
You shouldn't have done that neither. Should have asked Garrelad's permission first. We'll talk about that.
Well, I see that now, obviously. But, of course, we hadn't met him yet, you see. So, in fact, at the point that we were putting things in there, we didn't even know anybody lived down here.
When did you see this? When did you see Isocritus in there?
Oh, let's see. What is today? The 8th of Logarios. So this would have been yesterday morning?
Yeah, yesterday morning. You've got to be shitting me. And you're saying that you put your stuff in there? What kind of stuff is Isocritus going to be looking for in there? And why would he even think to be searching there for it?
No, he wasn't searching for stuff. He was hiding stuff. I don't see what we were hiding from him.
What'd you see him hide?
I wasn't really sure what it was, like a parcel or a package of some kind, and he hid it in one of the mouths where
one of his books from the library.
Well, yeah. Now that you say that, it seemed like a book sort of package. Yeah, could be book.
Son bitch, I think he might be stealing from Garrelad. I knew it. I knew that about that boy. He wouldn't up no good. Those goddamn Arcantians, you can never trust them.
No, not at all. Not even the Arcantian goblins, right? But
you're damn right. Look what they did to you.
That's right.
Should have been ashamed. I saw what you were wearing. You should have been ashamed to be wearing that. You give me thanks for stripping you of that armor.
Well, I will. Yes, thank you very much. But I will say that monkey of yours hits very hard, and if it weren't for that armor, I wouldn't be having this conversation with you right now, sir.
Well, I already regret this conversation, frankly. But
yeah. Yep, me too. I should have kept my mouth shut. I thought you were leaving. Sorry about that.
You know what? I think I just might lock you guys back up in here and go down and have a little talk with Isocritus myself.
Ooh. Or
you should. Oh, what's that, Goran?
Oh, can I talk or not? I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm hearing this.
You can hear the conversation outside. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I just be like, or you can go get it yourself and bring Garrelad the proof.
What's that now? He comes over and slams his face right to the grate. You got something to say there, dwarf?
Yeah, I was just saying that if I were you, and if I was a canny guy like you, I would probably go get that package myself and then take it straight to Garrelad. He's going to know that you wouldn't steal from that library. You already said he's spending too much time with Isocritus.
I ain't got no time.
This might be exactly. And what fighting man would?
Yeah, it's a goddamn right.
But
rot your mind, those words and scribble.
Exactly. All the words and writing and learning and stuff. Yeah, terrible.
So you're saying I go get that book and I bring it back to Garrelad. He'll thank me.
All I'm saying is, for all we know, Isocritus went and got it already. Maybe he hid it there temporarily. But if you go and talk to Isocritus directly about it, he's just going to deny it, and then he's going to know you're onto him.
Right. Listen to the door.
I'll pipe in too. Oh.
Go ahead.
Go.
You know what? Or we could go get it. It's no problem.
You shut your face, priest. I ain't letting you out of your cells.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he just wants to lend
can
you
I,
a hand.
Slide up to the door like a wheezing wrestling and say, "Oh there."
You're so creepy.
God,
You have
Jesus.
16 charisma. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, you're awake. You have a good sleep there, handsome man.
I did, and you're a good-looking fellow yourself. Wise, it would seem, too, and knowing who the right allies are. I can't say for certain, but knowing what you know about myself, master of the arcane, some have said, peerer into voids that only the eyes of great magnificence see.
He's just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. I don't want to prepare this speech. Okay. I can't say this for certain, but there are some spells in my repertoire that allow you to take control of another person, to influence them. If you take one of their possessions, it's possible that this book, being Garalad's, is giving Isocritus some power over him.
Oh, nice.
That
like some ensorcelled fetish.
That's just the kind of shit that I'm worried about. It's something like you would do, or that square-jawed lady back there.
All I'm saying is whatever
comes
you
from book reading.
Not... Literacy was a mistake, I agree.
That would explain why he had to hide it, sir.
Exactly. And be very careful not to let Isocrites gain any of your possessions, my friend, or he could do the same to you.
God,
I could guard him for you.
If he's like he takes a strand of my hair or something like that.
Yes.
Oh my God, I've been in his presence more often than I care to admit.
I know.
Jesus, I just got the heebie-jeebies. That's no good at all. Well, I just can't
trained
even imagine
barber.
like the kind of sorceries that someone would impose upon someone to strip them of their will and to cause them to be enchanted.
Oh, the irony.
Who would do that? Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Can I kind of like not to rewind time, but can I do like kind of a wink and nudge at Jost and say, for instance, this hair is Jost's, and I can make him dance as a puppet if I wish. And I go, ooh, just kind of.
Sure, I'll buy it. Yeah. You see him like get caught in it. He's like, oh yeah.
You're gonna have to be a steam pot.
Yeah, you're gonna kill you first, dude.
You're gonna totally.
You get back. He like makes some sort of like holy sign, like to ward you off, and he's like, God damn it, I knew it. That's it. That's it. I gotta get. This is gonna work out perfectly. I'll go get the book. I'll bring it back to Garalad. I'm gonna out Isocritus for the hypocrite and horrible person that he is. Garalad will get rid of Isocritus, and then it'll just be me and Garalad, and all will be well. Y'all, Oakheart,
That
be
sounds
the
like a
hero
plan, boss.
of this story.
And then you'll need a henchman for sure.
But the problem is, though, I'm not allowed to go in that room. If I do so, I'll be directly defying Garalad's orders.
It's a tricky situation, my friend. It's the kind of decision that only a hero can make.
Ooh, yeah.
Again, as a master of all things unknowable, I can tell you this. It will ward you from his disapproval and will not, as they say, count. Walk into the room backwards with your eyes closed.
He's like back against the door that Goran's at, right? Because he wants to stay as far away from you as possible. He's just like giving you the eye. But you can see it's like working on him. You know what I mean? He's like,
yeah, no, for
your
sure.
words like poison in my ear.
Backwards with your eyes closed, and no portal you enter shall be recognized.
He thinks for a second. He's like, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. All right, monkeys, with me.
You got this, boss.
So he sees he goes into his room, okay, and he pulls he comes back out after a couple of minutes, and you see that he was just wearing like a tunic and breeches when he came out, but now he's got like his full on chain hauberk, shield, big ass long hafted battle axe, and he's wearing that what did I say, an orange amulet around his neck.
Yeah, like a sphere or something.
Yeah,
Sounds
so
familiar.
yeah, a Clyde Caldwellian orb, and he heads out without another word. Doesn't say anything to you. It gives you like he's completely focused, and so you wait, right? You wait. And
Yeah.
you wait,
I'll keep working on my my wood carving. I'm gonna try and use the rock like a drill bit, maybe, and see if I can really scour in there.
Sure.
I keep on getting prison strong, dude. I'm just doing push-ups and clapping in between, and like.
Hold on, I checked up Ted's map.
And in the meantime, I'm gonna try and see if I can lure any more information from Tresty about her route.
Okay, all right.
Got her here.
So Tresty, yeah. So he heads off, and Tresty, yes. So Tresty, she and her band investigated the sounds coming from the Baboon Tower to the eastern side of the city, and then they found a cistern to the east of that had a crack, and they went into there and found themselves in very narrow claustrophobic chambers, which were running rampant with the baboons, and they were quickly most of them were slaughtered, and she was taken.
That's right. They caught her really early on. She didn't actually make her way here. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so we kind of know like how she, her story of how she got down into the dungeon.
Yeah.
Does she have any recollection at all of her trip? Through actually to the cell where she is.
That's the problem. She was captured and knocked out, and then she woke up in the cell.
Yeah.
So she actually has zero knowledge of the layout of the place, but she knows for a fact that there is something called the Library of Thoth to the south, which you've also crossed.
On this level,
yeah, correct.
And that's where Isocritus has been.
That's right. Did you want to have an Axamander cast locate object?
I think we should try it. It can't hurt.
The disco ball or the plunger?
He can do one today and one tomorrow.
Disco. No, he can't get his spells back because he has no book.
So here's the problem: the disco ball is basically out of your league because neither you nor he has any. You can't picture it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
well, there you go. Then that makes things easier for us. Now, the other thing that he had was it was a locate. It was to find an entrance out, right? Wasn't that like his other thing that he could do? His other party trick?
He has true seeing.
Stone talk or something like that. Is that what you mean?
Tell, yeah. It depends on your
Stone
use.
tell?
Yeah.
I can't
and Stone Tell could help him find like the quickest exit out, right?
But not from here. We need to talk to the stones themselves that know the secret, and I don't think this cell knows. Unless there's a secret door in here they could tell us about, but that's
right.
Like
these stones would know what's going on right around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would know.
Well, then we should have him.
What's cool about Stone Tell is that Stone Tell can tell you, the stones can tell you what's on the other side of the stone that you're talking to. That's what makes them really good in dungeons.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not all they can do.
Are they savvy enough to identify like creatures on the other side of them type thing? Can you use it to?
Yeah.
So he can be like, don't go in there. There's like 4 trolls, right? That kind of thing.
Probably not that specific, but they would be like, creatures, much danger, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So John, do we get the sense that like all the spells that he has memorized, is it one and done for him, or would he be able to? Okay.
Yeah, you can cast it once.
Yeah, he's a magic user.
I thought he was a cleric.
He's a cleric. Yeah.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are clerical spells.
Oh, what? But his god is dead or something, or he can't get his spells
he
back.
Because I can get mine back by like magic thinking.
He doesn't know. He's got what he has in his head. He has.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay.
All right, so
cool. So you get one shot at everything.
Is he casting a spell or not? Or should I fast forward to the results of
No, might as well.
I think he should cast the spell for the plunger, right?
Yeah, you can describe it pretty well, right?
So Goran, you describe it really. You don't have to go into detail. Like you've seen it, you've pressed it. You can describe it very, very well. So I'll just tell you straight out that I'm not screwing with you. Okay, like he can visualize it. The spell will succeed. So he concentrates really, really hard, right? And he thinks about it, and he's got it in his mind. He kind of moves his hands around, and then you see his head locks back, his arms go straight to his side, like super rigid, right? And you see him sort of start to slowly spin in a circle, and his arm slowly raises up with like one gnarled, like clawed finger, as he's sort of spinning around, and then it stops, right? And it is pointing. I will show you on the map here with a measuring stick thingy. It is pointing. Sorry, 1 second. Gotta do this right.
We were so invested in this. We've been talking about this all week.
Yeah,
he's in cell 2, I think, right?
He is in cell 1 with Gordon.
Cell 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just draw like the end of this line does not mean where it is, right? Because it just sends a direction, right? But
yes.
But I'm just gonna. Right.
Oh, and you can tell the general distance.
No, you can't tell the distance. That's what I'm saying. Don't look at the distance. This is the vector that the object is on.
It's in the throne room, then, guys, right?
It could be in the interrogation room. It could be.
This
in
is an infinite.
room.
This is an infinite line. You understand?
Right.
Yeah.
Even farther.
It could have been in one of the mouths. We might have missed a secret door in room 4. It might be in one of the monkey rooms filled with shit on the door.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what the other mouths do.
So he's going in that direction, and then also I should say that his hand is also pointed slightly down.
Oh, slightly. I was going to ask elevation.
That really does. We never checked the other mouths. I mean, we did the center one, which was like the brutal answer, but we didn't check if the other mouths like destroyed stuff or went elsewhere.
All you confirmed with them is that there was no air passing by them, and then you were like, "Oh, that the inscription meant the breath of Thoth."
Yeah.
You know, we should test those if we have the chance, because that's I totally forgot about that. Yeah,
it'd be hilarious if we all came back with it.
Either it's located in the throne room, the questioning room, like, but inside like the plinth that he was on, right? Because it's how much of a downward slope are we talking about here?
So
John? Is it like
that line did not intersect with neither the ruby throne nor the torture post. What it did intersect with was I don't know if you remember, I mentioned it intersected with one of the other defining features of the thing, where the two extremely large rugs that were on the ground,
under the ones that were used to be prayer rugs, but now are like gross and covered in monkey shit.
But they were huge, large ones, not like a Muslim
rug or something.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else this line could intersect is the possible room that an Expeditious was thrown in.
Yeah.
We haven't asked him about what he saw in that room.
Did you want me to draw the thing and you draw the line so that you have it?
I drew the line.
Yeah, we have. It's not there.
I don't see it.
You don't see a giant purple line that I drew?
No.
I see it. It's beautiful.
I see it. It's a wonderful line.
Thank you.
It's straight. It's purple.
You see that line I just drew?
Yes, I do.
Okay. But you don't see the big purple line I drew?
No, that's okay.
Right where your line.
I see that one, though. Okay. So,
chaos. All right, cool.
It's right here.
All right. And then he kind of collapses on the ground. He's like, yes, I can
right
see
on,
it.
man.
I can sense where it is.
That's a really good
How long
song.
will that How long will that last, John? Like, if we end up moving, will he be able to triangulate it?
No.
Can he, like, is he actively doing it? And can he even just walk from, like, the top of the cell down to the bottom of the cell?
It lasts for...
Is even maybe...
It lasts for 6 turns, so he doesn't have to, like, concentrate. He just sort of has this awareness. So anytime you ask him, like, are we going in the right direction? He'd be like, yes.
Well, I mean, we should.
Gotcha.
Oh, well.
It's like an objective marker. Yeah, or what do you call it? The objective path in a video game, you know?
Yeah. All right, well.
It still might work out for us. Let's just, you know.
It limits the options.
I'm assuming the cell is too narrow to do any kind of triangulation.
Yeah, probably.
What do you mean triangulation?
So if you draw three lines from 3 different starting points, the intersection is where the object is.
Right.
Oh, I see.
So the angle's going to be so fine, but yeah.
Yeah, drawing your line from the top of the cell would be an angle one direction.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I think if you get more space, like if you're in a larger room, that's definitely viable.
You typically have to have 3 points to narrow it down specifically.
Yeah.
But if you knew it was in that direction, it would be like wherever the X is.
But I'm thinking like with like the way that the spell would actually work in your mind is that you just get a general feeling like it's that way. You know what I mean? Like you're not.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like
no,
a
I
narrow
get
little
you.
line. You know what I mean?
We're not talking GPS coordinates. Got
No,
it.
but like if you, for instance, like if you were in the throne room,
right.
or if you were in the Well of Light room, I'd say there's enough
Right.
room there to triangulate. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
All right.
Well, let's see what happens when our big love boy comes back.
Okay. So.
Well, I sure hope he takes me on as a henchman.
All right. So it takes a while, right? So you woke up at around 7 a.m. in the morning. Okay. The spell's cast. You do some talking with Tresty and all that sort of stuff. Everyone's just looking for another miserable fucking day. And after about 2 hours, so it's about 9 a.m. It's like a long time. All right. You actually, when the door to the cell block opens again, all right, you actually hear the screams of baboons in pain way off in the distance, like echoing in the throne room, right? Like you don't know if they're coming, but the echoes are forming in the throne room, right? And you hear a body slump in, right? And then crawling towards the doors, you just hear, "Oh boy, that hurt." Oh my. And you hear like and you hear the door go slam, right? And you hear like jingling of keys, and you hear like a oh boy, that ought to hold him for a bit. Where the fuck am I? Oh, all right. Okay, right.
I kind of lean out the window and I'm like, "Meow, how'd it go in there?"
Oh, it's you. Yeah, right. All right. Listen, I got something to tell you boys.
Yeah, it sounds like kind of a crazy morning, sir.
It's been a day. It's been a day, and I got to tell you, that son of a bitch, Garrelad, he did just what you were talking about there, Magic Man. He fucking messed with my mind. He had me all thinking like I was his friend or something like that.
My friend, I know. Good.
He had me doing this job that I didn't even want. He killed my friends. I know he did. I knew that already. I knew that the entire time, and yet I was willing to discuss it. I think I'm going to be sick. I'm going to be sick.
I'll say it's friend. You cannot blame yourself. These sorceries are very. I'm like nice now. I don't know why.
You all are like.
I'm
like
using
me.
my 16 chaw. You know.
I could have just as easily have been you.
It could have, but it wouldn't have been. I didn't know how to tell you without hinting at it like this, right? I was trying to break through. You can trust us. We wanted to help.
Well, I didn't.
Are you wounded? Are you hurt, man?
Yeah, I'm not. I ain't feeling too good, frankly. Just you can't even see him, right? Like you just hear this voice out there, right? He's like, I got us locked in here pretty tight, but yeah, baboon should be all right. But if any of those four-armed bastards come this way, we're screwed. Oh boy, if Garrelad comes back, what am I gonna do? What am I sitting here for? He pulls you hear keys, and he's like, oh. You hear like a shik, right? And he comes up to Avaricios' chamber first, and you hear like a.
How bad does he look?
Door opens up, light kind of comes in, and he like falls into the chamber. Right, he is rent horribly. Like his chain hauberk is like hanging in pieces off of him, and there's like a massive chest wound, that is raked across him. As a trained adventurer, right? Like he's doing the best he can. It would have felled a lesser man, sort of thing, you know. But he's basically dragging his shield along the ground with him. His battle axe seems to have been lost, and his blonde braided hair is like matted with blood on one side, and across his face is just like sheeting blood down. Right. It appears that although his left side of his face is like a mass of blood. So it's difficult to tell, but it looks pretty obvious that he may have lost an eye. Yeah, and
death and dismemberment.
He's like, just a second. And he's like, he just like throws up on the ground. He goes,
is there a lung in it?
I'm so sorry for the part I played in this. I'll never forgive myself. Here, take these, and he tosses the keys. Find me something to bandage me up with, please, lords.
Hey, guys, we may have I was looking in our notes, and when we found those two bodies in the room with the painting on the wall in blood, one of them had a potion on him.
Right.
I don't know if we want to get to this guy necessarily, but we got that.
So
Av is about to cast. I mean, he hates this. He hates this guy for obvious reasons. But
you gonna cast it?
Yeah,
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I think I can't
just do it, dude. The guy was under a magical compulsion.
We need him.
I can't do it. He's this. Okay, come here. I'm going to cast. Oh no, I can't. My casting hand is gone.
That's right.
I reach out with the other one and I bless him. It's all right. You would be forgiven. I cast my other spell for the day.
He thanks you, and he's like he jolts from like the curing going through him, right? And then when he collapses again after you pull your hand away, he just starts to sob as he sort of crawls himself to his knees, and he basically prostrates himself before you, Avaricios. It tells you that there is nothing that I can do that you should never forgive me for what I did.
He feels bad, dude.
He feels
get us out of here, bro.
Yeah. So he gives you the keys.
Let's talk about this later after we get out of here, okay?
Yeah. We'll just sum it up real quick. As you are unlocking all the cells, I assume Avaricios, correct? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, should I roll the d6 for him?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, he gets a good heal.
What'd you get?
That's I rolled a 5, so that's a total of 6.
6.
Nice.
Great. Okay. Cool. Sorry, I didn't catch that one. I can't remember. I will for the next one.
I, of course, I'm only missing 2 hit points.
Yeah. So he gets himself off the floor. He has indeed, although your healing has basically caused it to seal shut with a bright pink scar. He has lost his left eye. And he goes back out into the corridor and he finds his battle axe, which he dragged through the door. And you can see that there's like a trail of blood that just basically leads right up into Avaricio's cell, right around the corner there. Now, he tells you that as you're getting everyone out of the cells, that when Goran comes out, kind of puts a hand on your shoulder, Goran, and he's like, it was Mort. Sorry, looks at Mort, and he says, "Now, Mort, I gotta tell you, there weren't no package down there, but I have a feeling I'm not as dumb as I look. I may not read books, but I have a feeling that you sent me down there with a lie like that in order to have whatever happened to me and jog my memory. Am I incorrect in that?"
Well, sir, you are correct. We had a feeling you was charmed, and I cannot tell a lie. We thought maybe you'd be more amenable to helping us get out of here if you wasn't.
Well, you bet right on that, actually, and I appreciate it. And I don't hold no grudges for it. Now, I paid an awful price, and he kind of holds up his hand to his eye, but
yeah, that wasn't part of the plan, I assure you.
But
yeah,
my question to you, fellers, now as you kind of stumble out into the torchlight of the hallway, is like, that Isometric, is he as bad as I kind of feel like he was, or is that some part of the sorcery? I don't even know.
We have no idea. We've never met him. We have no idea.
When it comes down to it, I think I've seen the man twice. I never even spoke to him. When I think back to all the things I said about him, I don't even know how I could come up with a judgment like that. I don't know the man. I don't know him.
It's possible that he's just a sellsword or any number of things.
Possible he's also a prisoner.
It's possible he's also charmed like you were, my friend. It's hard to say.
What is he doing for Garrelad?
Well, he's down there in that library. Now, that library, I know, because I remember one of the men that I was traveling with. He was actually the leader of the band. He was dead set upon finding that famous library of Thoth. It's something that exists independent of Garrelad and these goddamn baboons. It was here before. It's probably going to be there afterwards. But whatever's in there, probably in a bad state. But my commanding officer, or the leader of our band, really wanted to get down in there. So if Isometric is there's got to be something important.
Well, I think our number one thing that we should be trying to do is get the hell out of here.
But shouldn't we get some armor, some weapons, something before?
Yeah. Is our gear in here?
It absolutely is. And so, by the way, the rest of the prisoners are they're silent in stunned disbelief at what has just happened. Also realize too that all of you All males are basically just wearing loincloths, and the females, I think there's 2 of them, right, are wearing shifts, and that's it. Yes, Ted.
Okay.
Well, hold on, David. While we're getting our stuff back on and getting dressed, I would like to ask Niall what's going on with the baboons. We heard a lot of screaming. You've clearly been fighting something.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, they did find me when I was kind of making my way back, stumbling along in a goddamn haze. They picked up right quick that I wasn't no man's man anymore. I had to fight my way
So
back.
they're not
here.
fighting amongst each other. They're fighting. They were fighting you.
Oh no! What you probably heard out there was them screaming their goddamn guts out when I fucking eviscerated them.
Do you know if there are
I
any?
wish we were that good.
Garrelad has a penchant for secret tunnels. Do you know if this prison has another exit than the one you came through? Because we may
There
be
must
trapped.
be another way down.
Can I be padding around and searching?
Exit out of the levels that you're asking?
No, exit out of this.
No, exit out of this prison because we're bottlenecked by all the apes.
Oh, out of the prison. I'm sorry, out of the prison.
Yeah.
He says, "No, there's only the way we came through, unfortunately. But hey, come on in here. At least you'll see where I've been living these past few months."
Oh, right. He has his own little
A little door to the south.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. Don't expect much. But
yeah, no.
there is a
the
heap.
40-watt range.
There's a heap of treasure here. It's just all yours. So he lets you. He shows you in. And there is a beyond this. There is a how to describe this. It's pretty easy. I just losing my words here. 10 feet down, and then it breaks to the right for 20 feet. So it's like a perfect L to the right.
Wait,
So
10 feet.
So 20 feet down, Ted, and then it's just 10 feet to the right.
Okay,
Sorry, I should have just said that like that. Let me just see what we got here.
like
The
that.
lines aren't saving.
Correct. You got it.
Oh, there they are. Okay.
Here's an idea. So we're at putting on all our gear. Anaximander, you mentioned that you had the ability to have the stones speak. Maybe there is a stone in here that might know of some secret way out.
Yes.
One thing
the
before he
stones
does
are
that,
all-
though, hold on. Before he does that, is the locate object a concentration spell?
No, that's what I said. That you can just it's on for 6 turns, and then he can
And
just,
by casting another spell, he doesn't jack it up.
okay,
cool.
Just lasts for 6 turns.
So now that we've gone that far down, can you draw us another location line?
Is it still on?
Yeah, but just
6 turns is like an hour.
Let's get through this room here first, one thing at a time. So
Okay.
in the room, there's
Don't get a little excited.
Reel it in, guys. Come on.
Sorry.
So 1 second. So you get into the room. There is a simple cot. There's a water barrel, and there is a wood box that's full of like the rations that he gets for you guys. The water barrel is actually like looking really good right about now. And then there is a few more barrels and crates where all of your gear is, as well as most of the gear of the other adventurers. So there's all your stuff is there. It looks, however, that the so here's the deal. Looks like the illusionist spell book that you found is not there.
Damn.
Onweir's spell book is not there.
Oh, ouch.
And what other goodies did you have on? Did you have anything that was obvious arcane?
What about the cursed torch?
That was taken.
I think they took that.
I hate to say it, but the arcane rock was never used, so we have one more of those.
That was definitely not there.
What about those
and
potions that Ted was talking about?
Potions are still there.
Are Mott feathers gone?
No, the feathers are still there. They're a little crushed, but they seem to be okay.
Mort doesn't have one of those.
Did you have anything else that was obviously arcane?
I did not know.
Yeah, so you can kind of see what I'm getting at, right? Like,
Yeah.
right. So that stuff is not there. Everything else you've got. Indeed, Samantha is overjoyed. New life comes into her as she pulls out what appears to be a set of actually kind of beaten up and rather cheaply made scale armor. She dons it though with reverence, and just like she she's just so happy to be in it again. You can see that she derives like a sense of protection and well-being from having it on. Like she just feels like she's better off with it on. And you can see when you look at it closely, Avaricios, that it is not it wasn't brought out in the forging process like the inherent redness of the steel or something like that. It was actually the redness has been painted on. As you can see, it's like chipped in certain places, right?
Okay.
When she does put it on, it does look rather distinct. And what really sets it is she pulls out the last thing she pulls out is a helmet. And this helmet, as she puts it upon her head, looks like what can only be described as some sort of jackal-like creature. What is immediately recognizable from the history books and the stories you've heard as a set animal, which looks like this.
Oh. Where are you putting that?
And
That's a cool helmet. I want that helmet.
Okay, maybe this step guy is not so bad.
So it's
Listen, you know.
it's not the whole creature, but it is the head itself, right?
That's pretty cool.
So
Very cool.
I mean, it's cool, but it also is like evil.
right. So this did exist. Depictions of this in the real world in ancient Egypt, right? So it's to be careful. Like we always associate it with like, oh, it's a jackal or it's a dog, but specifically, it's actually like a hound's head with a strange curved snout that actually kind of curves down, almost similar to an ibis a little bit, I would say. And the ears are always depicted. I'm just saying that don't do any illusions. It doesn't really matter. But the ears are always depicted as square. Okay. And the tail is always depicted as forked. But the body is always that of a dog, of like a lean dog.
Right. But is it associated with Set?
Yes.
This creature?
Yeah. In real history too. I'm just saying that this is, you wouldn't call this like a jackal. You would call this a set animal, is what it is. A set animal.
Right. Okay.
And her helmet is basically like a jawless version of the head, right? So like the snout sits on top of her head.
All right.
And it's
Do we find anything coin, other jewelry or anything that's not arcane, just anything of value from other prisoners at the bottom of the barrel or anything like that?
No, there's no coin, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but there is some gear. They suit up in like mostly leather armor. Some people have chainmail. Yost is actually, he's fucking full Conan, man. He's no armor.
Nice.
He didn't have any, but he does put on like a big like sort of the same kind of thing that Njal actually has, like a baldric around the waist. You know what I mean? Conan, just picture Conan. That's what Yost is, except without hair. But he pulls out a huge broadsword, like a big old like two-hander sort of thing, and he's very happy to have that. In addition, though,
ask him if he knows the riddle of steel.
There is also 50 feet of rope, a bullseye lantern, and 3 backpacks. Although I would say that the backpacks probably do belong to the other adventurers. Now, Guelph. Guelph wears studded leather, but Guelph is completely insane. So the moment he basically is like the first to like get in there, and he's like, wee, and he's like tossing like stuff around like everybody else's stuff, and he's like mine, and he's like strapping his armor on, and he has like a couple of hand axes that he kind of stuffs into his thing, and then he like whips around like rotten teeth, just big old face full of rotten teeth and snaggle teeth, you know what I mean? And his patchy mangy beard, and he's like, gentlemen, it's been real. And he's like, and he makes towards the exit.
Fuck. Okay. Somebody tackle him.
Yeah, let's talk.
This fucking guy.
Yost?
Oh, actually, wait. Oh my god.
Do you let him go?
Do we let him burst out and then chase after him?
That's what I'm saying, dude. Let him go.
Let
He's
him
bad
go,
shit,
man.
You had no time to plan it, so do you tackle him?
Yeah,
or let him go?
I think we have to be ready to take the chance to run north to the other door. Let's do it. Why not?
Why don't we tell Guelph? Why don't we just we'll be like, get in front of him and be like, Guelph, we have more of a chance if we all leave at the same time.
He doesn't listen to you. Are you standing in his way?
No, let him go. Fuck
okay, yeah. He's like, so he's just like, and he's
What's wrong with it?
He's like, I'm out here, suckers. And he like,
so I'm gonna stick my head in a water barrel and just drink as much as I can before we run.
Okay, cool. We'll also say,
get a stitch.
Actually, you know what? It actually wouldn't work. I got to be fair, because I know someone's going to call me out on this if I just let it happen. Y'all locked the door behind him,
That's true.
so he just bounces off the door and just falls back.
All right. So we can control this. We can,
He's
I
just
do
like,
like-
he's like, you can I gotta get out of here. I gotta get back home. I gotta go back to Castledor. Goran, you're coming with me, right? Right? Let's go back home. What I said about having no plans. I got a plan. I got a plan.
Long knowing look.
Yeah,
I got people.
We're all going to go together.
I got people. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
come on.
Give us a minute to gear up.
Give me the keys. I'm freaking out here, man. I gotta get out of here.
Is there any merit to us letting him go and we go the opposite direction, though?
That's what I was thinking that we
Yes.
should do.
I think that's on the table.
He starts. He turns around and he's like, I gotta get out of here. And he's like pounding on the doors.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Are we ready to go?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
I
go.
mean, let's just do it. Let's do it.
All right.
I love
We're
it.
just going to run with this. And he's going to
Okay.
go south, right? Because Yost came from the north, but Guelph came from the south.
I mean, presumably he's going to go wherever these secret tunnels are, which
So-
might be useful for someone in our party to share
So-
with us as information.
So Nyal, he's like, all right. He's like, those little guys, he's ready to go. He's like, and he opens the door. And
Yeah, what's the fastest way out of here?
I was like, I don't even know. Have never left. I came in and have never left.
Damn it.
But the room that the way Yost came in, he told us it's right around the corner.
Well, the door opens, and Goran
And?
Opens.
and Guelph barrels through. Guelph gets about 20 feet into the throne room, directly west. Okay, it looks like he was generally about to head to the northwest area, to the northwest door, but he gets about 20 feet in, and
Oh, that's right. Oh, I
the
remember.
rug basically just goes as his weight just pulls him down into a pit underneath the rug.
Oh,
And he's like,
wow.
Okay, can we run up and look down this pit and see how deep it is real quick?
Is there any monkeys in the room?
yes, there are 4 monkey corpses
Okay.
Ooh,
that are
all right.
sprawled
Okay.
near the door. They are basically lining like the eastern wall south of the door, a little bit in, but it looks like the monkeys were deliberately avoiding stepping on the rug. And y'all probably had muscle memory of the fact that there was a trap there and avoided
Right.
it.
Right.
But Guelph didn't know. And
Is there a plunger in that hole?
the ruby throne glistens in the torchlight as well, and the shackles are hanging empty. But Guelph has made a lot of noise. There is one baboon that is actually crawling slowly and coughing over the bodies of its companions. It is trying to get away to the southern entrance to the chamber.
I will gladius that monkey right away.
We are in dungeon crawling mode again. Welcome back to Dungeon Crawl.
Gra.
Hey,
You have,
quick question.
you have
Yeah.
successfully escaped the prison technically. We'll see how far you get.
Yeah.
It is...
John. Oh,
Yes, go ahead.
Everyone
Ruby
raise your
throne-
hands.
Is the ruby throne covered in rubies?
It
No,
is...
No,
Ruby
it's one
in
giant
color.
solid ruby.
Correct.
It's one giant solid stone, dude.
Yes.
The green just hit
The only...
real hard.
it's no joke. Like you don't even know if is that naturally possible? Like to have a ruby that large to be cut into that shape? I mean, it's huge. It's massive. Avaricios, when you first came into the room and witnessed the whole scene, he remembered vaguely that there were certain sayings about the fact that when Thoth bleeds, he bleeds rubies. Now to get us on track with the logistics, it was 9 a.m. When Njal came back. I would say it would be at least probably like an hour to get suited up and healed and talked and all that sort of stuff right before you set Guelph loose. So I'm going to start us off at 10 a.m. Okay.
Okay.
What are you doing for light? This room has torches that are lit on the pillars that go down the center of the chamber towards the torture post, and also to the also kind of branch in the southern direction at 45-degree angles towards the west and east. So this room is lit. Yes.
I have a lantern that I can light, but we got to take care of that monkey first.
Mike.
Okay. Number one, can Niall lock the door behind us so that they don't realize we've left?
Yes, you
Good
can.
And they will spend time breaking down that door.
Yes.
Good.
Can we reach one of the torches on the pillar?
Yes.
Are they within height of us?
Mhm. They sure are.
Okay, number one, Ted, don't even worry about the monkey. Who cares? Guelph is going to draw their attention anyway. We grab a torch, so we have 2 light sources. We make a beeline for that door to the north and get the hell out of here.
Well, the monkey's going to rat on us if it survives.
Yeah.
You got to kill the monkey.
I mean, has it seen us? I mean, it heard Guelph, right?
It knows that we're out.
It looks like it's dying. Like Niall was not lying. Like they're basically their guts are piling up on the floor. 3 of them are definitely dead, and one is like crawling away.
Finish it off if it doesn't take us any time.
It doesn't.
You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't if you want to.
Okay, then finish it off.
Definitely do
Yeah, I finish him off.
Okay.
I want to,
Are
I
you
want to
grabbing
run.
the torch, Mike? Is that what you're doing?
What? I
Are
will
you
grab a
grabbing your
torch.
Okay,
John,
great.
can I ask Bo another question about the gearing up that I didn't get a chance to ask before?
Mm-hmm.
Were there any additional helmets or shields in that room that I could use?
Not a shield, but I'm afraid not. There just wasn't. No, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I mean,
that's
yeah.
fine. I just want to know.
Mort was carrying my extra shield, which I can't really use.
He used that in that last battle and lost it, I think.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's go. So let's
Okay.
make a
Alright.
beeline for the closest door out of this complex.
Yeah, while they're getting the torches, I want to go run up and check that door to the northeast.
All right. So you don't even care what happened to Guelph.
Well,
I
no.
wanted to look in the pit.
Oh,
Yeah,
'cause
David can
yeah.
look in the pit.
Plungers in
Got
that pit. We
I
need
got
it.
door, you got torches, you got monkey. We got
This is another way to
Okay.
get down if we have
All
rope
right.
and want to go
Well,
that
one
way.
thing draws
you
your
know?
attention about the pit is that you hear Guelph actually screaming in pain from deep within the pit. Just, "Ah! Oh! Ah!" And you hear like a splashing and like a
Oh,
And can we
Peter?
toss one of the torches down there and just see what we see?
yes. When you look down, give me a second here.
oh my
Sort of a
god.
beam of light cascading down against the walls. Yeah.
Oh yeah, nasty. Okay, give me a second.
your
Okay.
your pleasure is
Yeah.
disturbing.
So yeah, as you peer down, like a awful redolent stench of shit and feces comes wafting out of it. And as you drop your torch there, it appears that it actually ignites like a massive cloud of like residual methane gas down there, just like
Nice.
like that. And Guelph is, you see highlight, but he's actually being held in the air, approximately. Let me get the depth of this trap here. Give me a sec. Probably will be important. Let's see a second. It's 25 feet deep. So deep, yeah. The 25 feet deep. He's being held in the air by some sort of monstrous blob-like form with its mouth like gaping open, and massive tendrils with like hooked suckers on the end of them, right, are kind of flailing in the air as like they're suddenly kind of lit on fire. And Guelph himself is actually encircled by one of these tentacles, being shaken in the air, also on fire. It's like a horrible scene. It's like absolutely horrible.
When this
But-
happens, I turn to Gordon and say, "Not evil, not evil. Look, I'm a good guy."
Now
I'm a good guy.
this glob-like form is actually sitting in like a thick pile of like feces and awfulness, and is covered in it himself. Right, it's all being burned right now. So quickly, the whole entire throne room just starts to smell like shit, and burning shit, which is even worse. And however, amidst all of that horror on Weir, because it's so brightly lit by flame, you can see that there's other things down there in the shit. Oh yes. Let's see.
The most valuable item in this dungeon is in a pile of shit at the bottom of this pit.
A pile of flaming shit. Thank you.
Oh yeah, listen.
I'm starting to think he probably still would have preferred under the bus to down in that pit.
There are 2 slim items, both very different looking, that are kind of sticking upright.
Fucking plungers are down there!
Oh, no!
Fuck, gotta go down there, bro.
Both look a little bit different. One looks exactly like the plunger you pushed one level below. The other one looks like a slim, tapered, Harry Potter-esque wand.
Oh fuck,
Guys, here's what's
All
going to happen, because if anyone dies, it should be me.
Right.
Rope around my waist, I
Yup.
just jump into the pit,
Yup,
and you Mission Impossible my ass down there, and I grab these motherfuckers and they fish me out. We got to do it, baby.
All
Can't
right.
not try.
The three of us will hold the rope for Onweir. The rest of them get ready to defend us. We tell them that one of these objects down here might be our best way to escape. And then while Anaximander is like sitting there, I go, can you just check and see if that's the object we need down there? Like, do your pointer finger and just see if it goes down that way.
So he's like sensing, and he's like, yes, and he closes his eyes, and his arm like literally goes right down into the pit.
Oh wow. Okay.
Can I request that Yost? Can I request that Conan be the one holding this rope? Because I need someone who can actually pull my ass back up.
His name's Yost, but yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to telegraph here the danger. I usually don't tell how often I roll random encounters, and I never. But with protracted noise, which is what's occurring right now, it goes from very relatively rare here to it. Actually, I'm not going to tell you exactly. It's going to be like a lot, like all the time, with a higher amount on the D6. Okay.
Right.
So
I have a question too.
Yeah.
What is the noise? Because Guelph is no longer screaming.
He was screaming. He's dying in fire right now.
He's currently on fire. Yeah. And in fact, I want, as best as I can, to literally run down this pit while he's still alive and distracting this monster. So I'm like dramatically speaking, if it's possible, I'm pointing at Yost, grabbing a rope, throwing it at him, and just trucking it. You know?
All right,
How many hit points do you have though, Onweir?
Oh, one. I'm probably gonna die.
Well, John, also just point of order here. I'm also checking that door. I want to be able to get out up there if I can.
Okay, so you're there.
I can't hold the door. Does it seem to be openable? Does it seem to be locked?
Well, give me a sec. The door to...
I can't hold the rope anyway.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, guys, is even if we get that plunger, we still have to make our way through this entire complex to get to the pyramid room.
Okay. So there's a bunch of stuff happening all at once here. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have to go one sort of seam at a time. But I'll basically say, Avaricios, that you run up to that northeastern door. You slam into it, and you can tell that it will open. It's not a problem. However, you are immediately distracted from escaping because your eye, at the periphery of your vision, behind the ruby throne, catches your eyes a massive pile of glinting items that has been hidden behind the throne.
Yes. I love the evil that John is enacting right now. He's just trying to kill us so badly.
Onweir, you so I just want to be very, very careful here. It is currently on fire. Whole down there, probably I would say about 5 feet up from the bottom. So from 25 to 20 feet, right down at the bottom, is just a cloud of flame. Right now it's burning off methane, so it's not going to last that long. But it's definitely going to catch the shit on fire, right?
And I douse myself in water, just head to toe, real quick.
Yeah, I'm just
saying
saying
have a shit ton of water.
That if you go into fire, you're going to take damage, and it's going to be the average is going to if it's anywhere near the average, it's going to knock you out. Then you're going to be out, and they're going to have to drag your ass out of there, and it makes everything much more difficult
without the thing or the stuff.
Yeah.
And dousing myself in water won't prevent this from happening.
You have one hit point. You have one.
You have two.
Let him make a decision. All right, I'm trying to weasel here.
On where you have
it's
two.
A classic tradition.
You woke up. You woke up the next day, so you have 2 hit points.
Oh, okay.
To be clear, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I got.
Um.
Wait, David? Aren't you still running Yost?
I'm technically running both of them.
No, you're not running those. No, the NPCs are NPCs. You're just Onweir.
All right.
I mean, someone else can go down, but I feel like I should be the sacrifice.
Hey, y'all, you know how to make it up to us?
He's got 6 hit points too, dude.
Yost looks healthy. He's the healthiest by far.
All right. I asked Yost, I go, if you can get that metal rod down there and get back up here, we have a really good shot of teleporting out of this shithole. Do you think you can do it?
There's one. Gotta grab them both.
Gotta grab them both.
Okay. I'm going with the Arnold voice for Yost, so I'm sorry in advance. But
Arnold and Yost.
I heard you talking about the rod the other day. Yeah, I will go down.
All right, we got the room.
Can we not wait until it's like the fire burns out?
We don't have time, buddy. That dwarf is calling every monkey within like 100 yards this way.
Yost doesn't care. I do it anyway.
I have 14 strength because of my my little like fairy fountain.
Yeah, it's true. You're actually beefy.
I'm like I've got this, Yost. Don't worry.
Onweir's got like the robe over his shoulder. He's like,
yeah.
Hey, Onweir, step off. 16 strength goblin is going to take care of it. Yeah, look at these guns.
Hold on,
so let's both be doing that.
That calls for the stats to come up. I gotta put the stats on. There we go.
So 2 of us should do it. One of you guys should go fucking stuff a bunch of treasure into a large sack because we have
that's me. I mean, whatever.
Get it all, baby. And check if you can move the throne.
Okay, so this turn, what's happening is that Yost is being lowered down, and Everest, I assume, is checking out like what's behind the throne, right? That's what's happening this turn. Okay, so Yost gets lowered down. I'm gonna say like if you take an extra turn, which you're really gonna have to think quite carefully about, you can douse Yost with water and he will take less damage, but it'll take an extra turn.
Go Yost.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
He goes.
We ain't got time, dude.
He goes down. Oh, Yost is going to take 6 points of damage, which isn't great. Let's see. So he's.
Can I be peeing on him as he's descending?
Yeah, he's like like do flowers grow around the other? And he pulls out. He pulls out both things bodily as Mort and Onweir just haul him up, and he's like, I got them. And he brings them up, and he rolls over, and he's like, get out.
Can we all be flexing after he gets them, just like the 3 strongest individuals in
yes,
this
I'm very impressed. Now douse me.
Just pour water.
Yeah, we douse them. We douse
all right.
Okay, so we'll go back to you in just a second now. Avaricios. Oh my. Oh my.
There's another thing in there.
Avarice being the operative word here.
Yes. This is happening simultaneously as you take a look behind the ruby throne. In the shadow of it, behind it, mounded, is
bated breath.
Yes.
Just take gems. Just take the gems.
Okay, so it is. So here's the deal. I mean, it's a lot and it's pretty awesome. But I'm gonna be cruel. Is that they're not like, here's the copper in stacks, here's the golden stacks, right? It's all like just mounds of coins.
Are there,
no gems?
Good point, but yeah, I would be looking for like the small, like gems or like the smallest.
Sorry, beggars can't be choosers. But here's the numbers. You ready for these numbers? 7,562 copper pieces. I know you're like, move along, aren't you? All right, 6,293 pieces of silver. These are all modern Arcantian coins, not ancient.
Okay.
2,365 gold pieces.
How much platinum, though?
827 platinum pieces. Yeah.
Awesome. Are there any gemstones?
No, there's nothing. That's a big pile of coins. That's what's there.
Is the ruby throne movable?
It sure does not look like it. No.
Okay.
Is there a +5 Holy Avenger?
If if you yell, there's a lot here, come help me.
Yeah.
Once we've got Yost out, I've got sacks. I'll come running over.
Yeah, I've got one.
And I got
one large sack.
I got lots of slots of empty carry. So
keep in mind that there's not a lot I can do because I don't have spellbook. So my 14 strength and inventory space probably is good for carrying this shit.
You're our new mule.
Want to be careful. Here's the deal. For viewers out there as well, this is how we work with sacks in the modified item-based encumbrance. Is a large sack basically doubles as your packed items on the back of your character sheet. So whatever you can carry based upon your strength, that's the number of slots that a sack can carry in addition. So, in order to load all that up, you do have to any amount of stuff in a large sack has to be carried with 2 hands.
Uh-oh.
Okay. There's no wheeling out of it. I know that you could put like a coin in a large sack and say like I'm carrying it in one hand, whatever. But for the purposes of the game, a large sack has to be carried with 2 hands, but you get a full other packed items list, right? A small sack can be carried with 1 hand, but can only give you half the amount of slots that you normally be able to carry. Understand?
Oh, okay.
I don't remember this rule. Did we do this?
We made it
Yes,
up.
because we were confused about like what would make the most sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think this
so
works really well.
It's actually really beneficial for you. It doesn't.
it means. Sorry, when you get a full packed items thing.
So your packed items that's listed on your character sheet right now. Okay.
Yep.
That is your backpack. If you pull out a large sack and you fill it, you get that amount of slots in addition, but you're holding it with 2 hands.
But your hands are busy.
Oh, if you again with the encumbrance thing. So if you fill up more slots, you become more encumbered. Right? Because like
yes, correct.
Right now, I'm only filling up like 10 slots, but I could fill up 8 more, but move at 10 feet.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like an extra whole thing. All
it's
right.
like an extra hole. Like if you like just attacked another one to the side, you could fill up that one as well.
And what we say?
I'm suggesting that I do the.
Oh, hold on. It's 100 coins per slot, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, David.
I was going to say I suggest I be the one to carry stuff since I'm the least useful.
Well,
and
in
also all the
combat.
NPCs too.
We've got
No, of course. I'm just saying, like you guys can fight, I can't. So
Who took the rod and the wand?
I will take them.
Okay, so write them down. Each one of those is a slot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mort will run over to Av, whip out a large sack, and fill it with as much coin as it will hold.
Okay.
That's. Oh, sorry.
I give
if I can't actually sort out the gold from the platinum and so on, I'll just fill it.
So tell me how many slots that you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I take, I could take 12 slots, so 1,200 coins
in a large sack.
Okay, I
so
guess
I'm going to write that down. So we've got Mort with 1,200, right? Yeah. 1,200 coins. I'm going to figure out what coins later.
And
Is anyone else
another large sack to hand to somebody? David, here you go.
I have a 14 strength. Who has a higher strength, me or y'all?
You. Dude,
Anyone?
you.
Okay, so then that would give me 10 slots.
Well, no, that's 10 slots without reducing my encumbrance. We could take more. You actually have one.
I'm saying I have with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 11 slots.
Right before you drop to
before 30. I drop further that I can carry, and I also have 3 spare slots in my regular inventory.
Well, so, don't forget 2 of those
4,
slots
actually, because the amber's not there, and 5 because so I have sorry.
No, the equipped slots are taken up by both your hands.
Right. So you lose 2 of those slots for carrying the sack. Got it?
Gotcha.
No, well, you lose 2 equipped slots.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Not in my backpack. My packed items, I have. I'm saying in my backpack, I have 4 available slots.
Oh,
in
that's
addition
true.
to that, a sack would give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more slots. So that gives me an aggregate of 15 slots worth of coins that I can put on my person.
Okay, you doing that?
Yes.
Yeah, and
1,500.
John, I can put 300 more in my backpack actually.
Without going down?
Yeah.
Yep.
John, let me ask you a question also to help. Expeditious has a large sack. Can he only fill it like a half sack's worth so he can carry it with his one hand?
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay. That would be half slots, so 1.
Man, we still have a lot to grab. Okay, I'm gonna ditch
six slots for my small sack.
So
I have 2 slots
coins.
I can take. Yeah.
Okay, and Gorand?
I can put 2 slots in my backpack without slowing myself down. What I'm also doing now that I no longer have a shield is I have the slots available. I have an equipped slot available to keep the rod on me, and then the wand has to be packed.
So how many coins are you taking?
So I can only take 200 coins.
200.
Okay.
Also, right. Sorry, when you're ready. So I actually have 1,600, and I'm gonna ditch my belt pouch and scroll case because I don't need them. to give me 1800's worth of space. Sorry. I'm just realizing the cheap pouch I don't need over the giant.
Okay. The other
pile of
NPCs are also diving in, and they're going to grab as much as they possibly can. I don't think I'm going to have to figure it out later, but I think that gets the vast majority of coins, but not everything. Some is still left, but we'll figure it out later. It's not break the tension right now. Hold on 1 second. 1 second.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Yeah, and we die.
If the monkeys come in, I'm just going to be like, just a minute, we're counting our slots. Excuse me.
Okay, let's see. Okay. Map looking.
We got to get out of here with something to show for it, man.
Guys, are we
Okay.
assuming that these guys are coming in from the south? Are we going to try the northeast exit, or are we bolting
Yes,
for the
you guys
pyramid?
hear hooting. You do not hear like the of the large one, but you do hear definitely a pack of multiple baboons hooting, and they're coming up from the south. But you
Let's
don't
go.
see the like flickering torchlight.
Northeast.
All right. And you're like cramming the coins in, and you bolt into the northeast. Okay, let's get to the owlbear here so folks can see what's going on. All right, Ted, why don't you remove that line since that's already been solved?
Oh, okay.
And okay. All right.
Okay.
You come to the door, right? And you find yourself in a 10-foot long corridor that goes east and west, right? However, there is a wall directly to your right, like right there. So it basically goes west the entire way, past your torchlight. No more blacklight torch.
East and west.
So it's running east to west, but there's a wall like right to your right.
Like that.
Yep. Correct.
Yes.
And it goes past your torch. What are you using? A lantern?
Yep.
We have a torch.
We have a torch
Who's
and
carrying-
you're not using a
I
light.
haven't lit it because my hands are full, and you've got a torch.
I've got the torch.
Goran's got the torch. Okay. We're gonna say 2 out of the 6 turns of that torch are gone.
Okay.
So you got
I have
4.
more torches in my pack.
All right. So
Me too.
it illuminates 30 feet down
Okay.
to the west. Okay. All right.
We would ask Yost to pipe up as soon as we get in there because he came in.
It's right here. It's right here. That's not really a wall.
What? Right.
Right to the right.
I turn to the right and touch. Well, touch.
Hold
Is
on
the
a
wall really there?
second.
Like this.
No, he's like
Right here?
"Well, I spoke incorrectly. Yes, it's a wall, but you can get through it. Watch here. Be careful though. There's probably enemies. We'll see.
Love you.
Yeah.
I like him more than any of our characters, sadly.
I do too. Me too.
I think he's the main character here. We're
Just
just
go with
henchmen.
archetypes, right? Just
Whatever
Yeah,
he
that's what-
says.
Yeah.
Which way should we go, Yost?
Did
Okay,
Niall
so
manage to get his
he goes-
banjo
he's
out
like,
of his
look,
room?
Look up here, right here. Shine the torch up here. And he shows you like the seam between the wall and the ceiling, right? He's like,
Right.
if I pull right here, and he fingers like in the seam, and he actually finds like a very thin wire, and he goes, and he pulls it, right? And as he does, the entire stone panel that is that wall just goes like right up into a slot into the ceiling.
Wow.
He's like, look.
All right. As we go through, make sure
Wait, hold
nobody's
on. Sorry.
bleeding or shitting or dropping anything. We cannot leave any trace that we've passed through this wall.
Right.
One point of order before we go. One turn cycled while we were doing the looting? Yes.
Yeah.
Do we want to try to spend a turn to chisel like the arm of this ruby off? Because it's probably incredibly valuable.
No, you want to do that. We want to run.
No.
I'm just saying. If you like, let's say there's an arm and it's this much ruby, it's probably worth more than any of the coins we just picked up, right? Like,
Yeah.
just a thought.
You wanna
And it
chip
only
away
takes a turn usually to chisel.
Don't
something.
forget there was a matching rug on the other side of the room.
This. Oh fuck!
Let's hold on. Let's go through the door and close the door
Wait,
and wait maybe and see what happens. But let's
Okay.
not do this right now.
that's fine. I'm just pointing out there so we don't take for granted the fact that there's probably like millions and just
I'm
like
gonna say
aware.
this. You did not see the baboons, but you heard them coming up the southern passageway.
Yeah.
When you get through the door, what I'm going to say is, so just be aware that you're not really sure how far away they are. They seem like they were relatively close. If you take a turn, you can hide your passage, and they will not be able to determine that you went east. If you don't,
we
there is a
100% do
slight
that.
chance that you leave. I mean, like Njaal's bleeding. You know what I mean? Like there's,
Right.
you know,
Tidy up, sweet up a little.
right. Do you want to take the turn?
Yes.
I think it's worth it.
I think
it's
we have
worth it.
to.
Okay.
It's smart.
Rolling some
Or
dice.
change.
Okay, you're like, all right, calm down. Let's do this. And you very carefully, you get everyone. Like remember, there's like a huge crew with you. It's not just 4 of you. There's like what, 9 of you. You know what I mean? And there's a massive pile. So like you carefully direct people, and you kind of get into the room. And Yost is like, all right, here we go. And he pulls another wire, and it goes shunk, and it goes down. You're pretty confident that you didn't leave much of a trace.
Okay. All right. So what do I see, John?
So what you see here is that the corridor continues east for another 20 feet before it jags to the north for 10.
Afraid you'd say that.
Yeah, you got to move your lyric. Should be relatively easy with Albar too, though. Just grab it and take it. Right?
I'm trying to grab it, and it's not cooperating.
You can use the S, right? Select and just circle it. There you go.
I can move it. I got it.
I got it now.
Oh, onwards on.
You guys.
You want me to move it?
No.
I
Oh,
did
you
it.
grabbed it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's a corridor, dark.
Get off my map. All right. It goes east-west.
Yep. So it goes for 20 feet before it jags to the north for 10. I'm sorry. I don't know how best to describe that. It's actually one to the left, Ted. Sorry. Like
Okay.
you just drew a corridor that went down 30 feet, right?
Oh,
Well,
see.
I went 20 feet, and then I went north. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I always
I'm not sure the
misunderstand
best way to
it.
actually convey that, but
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if I missed this. I was my wife had a question. I was not about the game. I was just wondering, do the baboons know about the secret passage?
Yost, you know?
I never saw them here. I don't know. They weren't there. We didn't encounter any when we came from this direction.
Okay.
Yost got captured in the interrogation room. So
Right.
Yeah. So the corridor immediately continues to the east, Ted. So like you just go up 10 feet and immediately starts going east again.
while we're running, can I ask Yost, why did you come on this floor? Why did you not keep going up when you were on the stairwell before?
Keep going. It didn't continue up. It emptied here.
Oh, okay.
Are we
Yes.
not going to listen?
Ted,
You want to listen and see if the monkeys are coming, David?
Yeah, are we not going to listen? Because if they don't, we should go get the rubies. If we covered our tracks.
All right. So
Let's see what's down the corridor.
yeah, the moment you sort of so Ted, so Mark, when you look down that corridor, it continues beyond your torchlight, so it goes at least for 30 feet. Now, the moment that you turn that corner and sort of put your torch around there, Mort, you can hear, and then you hear it, and then you hear like them sort of talking in their bed, like what, and then you can see them, you can hear the voices fading down towards the west.
Yeah. David, I really want to come back here when I have shields and helmets and henchmen and all kinds of stuff. I don't want to go back. I know, dude. I'm
All I'm
sorry.
saying is we might level like 9 times. Just bringing this thing like we're gonna go from like 1 to max level from a chair.
I would just like to have one good night's sleep in a safe place, and who knows what.
For sure. I'm just
Remember, dude,
Sounds fade away. It seems quiet.
We're gamblers, David. We're gamblers. There's bad odds on that gamble, bro. Bad
I'm
odds.
just saying, one turn we got the chair, baby, and we're level 9. You can.
I want 10 guys with crossbows, like heavy crossbows. I want shield walls. I don't want to come back down here again with just like a stick.
This whole tribe.
I understand.
Okay.
Okay. So, Yost. Let's see here. Take a look at my own thing here. All right. So Yost tells you, so, all right, we're going to go through a couple of very strange chambers. As far as I could tell, there was no danger until we actually get to where the staircase was. When we exited from the staircase, there was a chamber there where there were these huge statues of Thoth that attacked us, and we got separated. I was able
Should
to
we
pass
all-
because of this, because of my holy symbol.
Should we all take a turn to make holy symbols?
Well, I have an idea there. I mean, it would be slow, but we could do this. I've got my, luckily it's been returned, my trusty ball of twine. We tie it around the holy symbol. We go one at a time and just pull it back. Each one can carry it.
Oh,
Give it to the guy behind.
You're like really
That's
smart.
some
dude.
real OSR thinking right there. I love
It's
it.
real- I love that shit. That's amazing.
If it's one at a time, well, who cares?
We're gonna take a breather.
That's
That was
really
so
good. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the most excited I've been this whole campaign right now.
Okay, go get the ruby while we're going one at a time doing this.
Hey, I got a question
Oh
for
fuck! Actually, okay, hold on.
Uh-oh. Got the wheels
you. No,
turning.
I got a question for Jost. When these things animated, were you guys prying out their eyes?
I'm sorry. Were they prying out their eyes, the party? No, they
Yeah.
literally stepped into the room, and
Okay.
they looked like they were attached to the walls, and then they just animated the moment that they came in and started attacking.
Right.
But good question.
Okay. Also, I just want to say this while because I'm looking for information, like if we've heard any rumors about these things or anything, and I just noticed something that Gorand heard on session 1. Cult of Thoth developed 3 major temples underground, one at a chasm, visit only by teleportation or flight. This is obviously one of the 3 major temples,
Yeah.
and we found the teleportation access method. You've got the plunger. There's probably at least one other pyramid somewhere.
Mhm.
Also,
Right.
remember too that you've seen signs of what are known as the Thothian teleportation rings,
And
right?
those little, with the
Right.
tiles and things.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Right.
Other tiles.
So just wanted to mention that.
Yep. Okay.
But I
How
don't.
much time is this Ankh trick gonna take?
Well, we haven't even gotten there yet.
Yeah, you're not even there yet. So he says that it's approximately, you have to go through like 2 chambers, but roughly close to around 200 feet is sort of like the very round guess he's saying. Like, it's a couple of large square chambers, and then there's like corridors connecting them, but it's pretty much a straight line right to the stairs.
John, just keep in mind that we know that our torch is almost extinguished, so before it goes out, we'll light another one off it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you just assessed this and talked. But I actually say with the talking and listening for the baboons that another turn goes by.
Okay.
So
And I have enough torches to give more than one if we want to have more than one torch going.
Okay.
We have a pretty big party with us right now, right? We got
do.
like
Yeah.
10 people with us.
Mhm.
So it probably behooves us to have at least 3 torches going, I would think.
No one in the party, by the way, has like long range missiles. Most people have like at least a dagger on them, though, including
Right.
Tresty. Just so you're aware. Everyone else, though, but melee, like everyone's like good. They're like,
Can Tresty use a crossbow?
no.
Okay.
Well, no. I mean, yeah, they could actually. Sorry, I forgot about my
Tresty can carry my crossbow.
forgot about my own house rule.
Yes. Tresty gets crossbow.
Okay, cool. So, just going to ask it one more time. Are you going to go back into the room, into the Hall of Judgment?
I don't want to.
Look
How
at
long-
David.
how-
Look
how-
at David all
Okay.
twitchy.
I
got an idea.
literally am a Ruby obsessed illusionist. It's a core part of my character. Now,
I got
hold
an
on,
idea.
hold on.
I got an idea,
Yes.
which is we go to the first chamber, we assess it,
Yes.
and potentially maybe stash some stuff. You and someone else who's an idiot wants to go back.
I agree.
We can think of something, but let's at least get to the first chamber here.
I 100% agree we get to the first chamber. I don't want, if this goes tits up, I would rather y'all not be dead with me. right? Like, so I'd rather everyone get through the threshold of the Guardians successfully before I try anything. Or
Okay.
do it during that. So yeah, let's go to the first
All
chamber.
right, so put a pin in it because whatever you guys decide, you'll have to do it next time. No.
Well,
I'm saying,
Fine.
hold on. I mean the Hall of Judgment. If you decide to go back, where this room you're about to enter will be the last thing we do tonight. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Let's
so,
just play for an extra hour. Come on.
Come on.
Come
all
on.
right. So
We just got the twine out.
Ted, this
Yes.
corridor continues down for the total length of this section of corridor. Ted, okay, is 60 feet long. So you've already drawn 40 feet of it. Got it? Okay. Before it opens up into a perfect 40 by 40 square. You are entering in 20 feet south on the western wall.
40 by 40 square, 20 feet south.
On the western wall is where you're entering from.
So does it do like this?
No. You're entering 20 feet, not 30 feet.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Oh,
by
20 feet from the top.
Yeah.
So like this.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the corridor continues out past the room in the southeastern corridor heading east.
All the way to the bottom
Mhm.
corner?
You're right there. You got it. Okay.
Like so. Okay.
You got it. Okay. The hallway here that led you here was pretty dusty, although it does look like it was recently disturbed. Yost confirms that was him. But when he came this way, it was like no one had been down here ever, right? Like a long time. He was the first one. He remembers coughing, right? When he was kind of stumbling through here, just recently separated. Um, this is an interesting room. So the
Interesting
ceiling,
is in we're all going to die.
yeah. When you step into the room, you are like convinced for just a split second that when you stare up at the ceiling, that the room is actually open to the night sky in the ruined city. Then you're like, that's impossible. We're down deep, and it's also daytime out there. We pretty sure we woke up in the morning, right? But what you're looking at is what appears to be an extremely realistic depiction of the stars over Arden Vul as they actually are at this current moment.
Oh, wow.
Are they moving and twinkling?
Yeah. Like it's
Oh,
like
wow.
Wow.
like crazily real. You know what I mean? Well, like you when you look closely, you can see that they're not actually twinkling, but like when you move, they seem to catch the light in a different way, right? So they seem to twinkle. Sort of thing.
Oh,
They're
sequins.
diamonds
Sequin
set
work.
into the ceiling?
Hmm?
Are they
So-
diamonds set into the ceiling?
You can't be sure, but they look. What's strange is that you have seen at nighttime when you were up there, like the heavens move, right? But the stars that are showing are literally what the night sky looks like right now, above Arden Vul. The northern wall has a large patch of mosaic on it. The southern wall also has a patch on it, a patch of mosaic on it. The northern wall. Give me a second.
Oh, is this going to be another TV mosaic? I can't wait.
Okay, let me see here. Sorry, it's a little complicated. I just gotta figure this puppy out here. Sorry.
Worry about it.
That's pretty cool. Okay. So the mosaic on the northern wall is depicts what appears to be like a very kind of plain looking scene, right? It just looks like a long corridor that stretches down like a stone corridor depicted in mosaic tiles, right? You see a couple of the tiles shift in what appears to be like it's kind of crazy, like how it actually shows like depth perception, like a tunneling sort of view, right? Like
Yeah.
but at what is depicted as the far end of that tunnel, there is a couple of tiles of what appear to be white actually move and shift and then disappear.
I bet that was the monkeys running away. So this is the corridor we just went through that
Mhm.
secret door. Which makes sense. You could be sitting in here and you could wait until no one was in there, and then you could go through the secret
Exactly.
door safely
Yeah.
with no one knowing about it.
If
Okay.
only it showed us what was going on in the throne room.
Well, let's see what's on the southern wall.
Mhm. That might be what's facing the other way.
Okay, so on the southern wall is a completely different thing. This looks like a grand depiction of some massive space. Um, uh, and it appears to be, let's see,
Maybe the library.
a huge room clad in white, like it's all white tiles. with a long row of pillars that basically go all the way down this massive chamber, and there is it's another sort of classical, like Renaissance sort of who was that guy who did that, Brunelleschi or something like that, who did like the perception stuff. I can't remember, but like it's like
is that his name? Is that what you're thinking of?
Like where all the lines, all the focal point lines kind of come into the side. Yeah. Is that the guy who's famous for that? Can't remember. Plutarch. The Plutarch?
I'll tell you right now.
Whatever. But it's like one of those classical sort of depictions, but it's all done in mosaic. So there's like a focal point that kind of, so you're standing at the entrance to this chamber. There's like a row of pillars that goes down and comes towards the middle, right? And at the end, at the focal point, is this massive statue of Thoth. And there are, I'm sorry, and the pillars are actually statues themselves, all depicting different sorts of figures that you can't make out because it's all in mosaic, right? So it's not exactly perfect. Yeah, and that's all it seems to be. There does not appear to be any movement of tiles. So quite strange.
All right, so not something we've seen before.
Not something you've seen before. Does not look familiar. But
it was something.
It was something important to whoever was in here, though, right?
But Yost, is this the room where you were attacked?
No, this isn't it. It's another chamber. I remember the night sky, and it was like, oh, that's crazy, and then I kept moving.
It's so crazy.
Yost, will you please travel with us forever?
All right, now, so yeah, there's those mosaics there. There's the depiction of the night sky. The depiction itself appears to be like a plaster fresco, but it's like super realistic, but it's like really uncannily realistic, right? So it's not a mosaic. However, in the northeastern corner on the ground is a set of 2-inch tall paving stones arranged in a 6-foot diameter ring. You have seen this before. Inset into the floor next to it is a rectangle that is 4 feet long by 8 inches tall. The rectangle is further divided into 6 square compartments, each 8 inches square.
It was in the palace, right?
Oh yeah,
this is the teleportation circle.
However, none of these square insets in the 4-foot long block facing it are filled in.
Are there any tiles around, like on the floor, around at all? It's just empty?
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
But Garrett Lad's got him.
No, because if he knew about this room, we'd be fucking dead.
Well, he might not have told the monkeys.
That's in the northeastern chamber, so it basically takes up that square up there.
Oh yeah,
Right.
let me draw that in.
And when you guys are examining the ring, you actually hear like a, and you look at the northern wall, and
that
you see
sound didn't come through. By the way, it didn't come through on the mic.
Yeah, I didn't hear you.
It's like a movement of tiles.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
And you look at the northern mosaic, and you actually see a couple of white tiles form at the end of the hallway. And as it kind of moves up the 3D depiction of the hallway, you see the more white tiles appear until it actually is resembling like a 6 large pack of baboons. As they kind of their way up the corridor, and then there's a huge amount of white tiles that actually appear at the far end of the tunnel and quickly resolve as it moves up the tunnel to form like a massive 4-armed baboon.
Let's go.
As it comes up the corridor, and you can see that they come right up to the edge of the mosaic, which is like the largest part of the tunnel, like the way it's depicted. You understand what I'm talking about, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It goes right up to the camera.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and you see, there's basically like a melange of red tiled baboon faces, right? Like albino faces. And they are like right there, as if there's a camera right there, like looking, right? And then they actually open a door to, I guess it would be their right, and they all go through that door.
Back into the throne room.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
back in the throne.
Hey, all yours, David.
Yeah, go
ahead.
have fun,
Back,
dude.
man. You got this. I believe
play-
you.
You're giving me permission, and I might still listen.
Go play Slippery Tickle with the monkeys, dude.
All right, so
I
we'll
wanna
leave it
see it.
there. You've got these two
Yeah,
mosaics.
amazing.
You've got the teleportation ring in the northeast corner, and you have a further exit to the east that Yost has been down, so he can give you the lowdown.
All right.
But we'll stop there. So
Wow.
that was pretty great, guys.
Wow.
Congratulations on the
That was
prison break.
awesome.
That was an excellent plan that you had
Yeah.
with y'all.
Who realized he was charmed? It wasn't me.
We all kind of figured it out,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
I think John dropped a hint that he was
Well,
not acting like a normal person.
well,
But Mike,
Samantha,
you confirmed it with your initial conversation with him.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
much.
Samantha in my cell had say, "Oh yeah, I think he's."
Yeah.
Oh,
Makes
okay.
sense.
Well, it was a good plan, guys.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was-
well done,
it was good.
gang.
You bet
I mean,
right.
yeah.
He may not have been charmed. And you also didn't know if that dispel effect would actually.
Yeah,
actually
see,
work,
that's
but-
what I was thinking. Like, because Avaricios was thinking, like, oh, when I went in that room, it stopped, and
Right.
I
was worried he would be-
something's
Right.
keeping those monkeys out of that room, and I
Yeah.
think he put two and two together there.
Yep.
It's too bad that he wasn't able to lure a bunch of the monkeys to come in there with him, because then they might have had some internecine
allies.
warfare going on in there.
I was hoping.
Yeah. So you
All right. Well, that was awesome.
you're making your way that direction. Just remember that there's still a lot of open ends that you can go back for as well, depending on what you want to do. And don't forget too that I guess I just can't be like role playing all the time, but there are like
Right.
literally like 5 other dudes with you.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're not like henchmen; they're like full on adventurers, except for Anaximander.
I'm a henchman.
I'm not kidding though, guys, when I'm like, we should go hire a bunch of shield dudes with pikes and a bunch of heavy crossbowmen and just come down here and just sweep this area.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, yeah.
Speaking
I
of
love that.
hiring, you just got a fat amount of loot. I do have to determine randomly, and it will be random.
Yeah, what the coins we get. Yeah.
What you actually grab, but thankfully because you do have 5 additional people, I'm just going to work that out mathematically, and we'll see how.
Well, we're gonna have to share it out with them
I
too.
mean, if
though.
there's any if we get down, John, to like a small amount, I would ditch my lantern and oil and shit like that for the gold, just for what it's worth. I don't know if that's a hassle, but
I don't
there's so
know,
much
though,
stuff that
dude.
we probably all have on our person that are less valuable than the coins.
Well, I will tell you that personally, I find torches to be more valuable than coins at this point.
Yeah, but we got six people with torches. In other words, right? Like if
it's very unlikely that you will leave anything that you will leave a sizable portion behind. Like
Yeah.
most of
Right.
it very well could be just everything. So I'll let you know. But
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Well-
at this point too, we could actually sit down and take like a turn to separate out the copper and ditch that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. I mean, if we do go down back to where the halflings are, we might want to chuck some.
Yeah, you
chuck
have to
some
come up with a
pennies
plan
down.
for that because they're going to be like, there's that 10% because that's looking pretty.
Oh,
good.
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, with Yost and Sam and Tresty with us, we could probably put the hurt on some halflings if they.
That is also something you might want to think about. You have
Yeah.
a fuck off band now. Like I mean, you guys are
I'm
no
really
joke. Like it's not only that you have the capability, but you look like you're badasses. Or you know what I mean? Like there's 9 of you and you're all fully outfitted, right? And you all are like scarred up and looking like mean motherfuckers, right?
I
So-
do look pretty mean.
Yeah. So So anyways, that was great work, great planning, and everything just worked out great for you guys. So that's pretty awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, John. Thank you.
That was
Very
cool.
fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks,
All right,
John.
everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed the session. We look forward to continuing on with the further adventures of the AV Club. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. You know the deal. You've
And-
been watching 3D6 down the line. Yes,
If
Ted,
you
you
were-
want the last word?
If you were betting, I hope you all won a lot of money on us escaping.
Yeah, exactly. They did it on their own. There was no Deus Ex Machina there. They did it on their own. So that was an awesome job. All right,
Is that on Sportsbook? Is that on
Sure.
Sportsbook, Ted?
It's not yet. It will be soon.
Yeah, I haven't quite got it set up yet. Their
That'd be amazing.
negotiations are ongoing.
All right,
That's
everyone.
awesome.
Have a great
Later,
week.
guys.
Take care. Bye now.
Bye bye.